Yeah, what's going on? Welcome to Friday Night Live on HipHopCitizen.
HipHopCitizen live stream, baby. Welcome another week, Dialect 718, brother. Glad to see you,
What's
brother.
going on? My man Don Juan the Mac.
Absolutely, absolutely. Big shout out to Architect 7, Dave Simon, Steve Review.
Yeah, shout out to everybody checking us out right now.
And of course, you all around the world.
Yeah. Today we got a nice show for y'all today. Let me turn on this music in the background.
Yeah.
We got a special guest coming through today from out of Baltimore, Maryland. We got Ill Conscious.
Ill Conscious out of Be More. Be more careful, baby. Get ready.
And we also got a special guest coming, special returning guest coming back. Should be in here shortly. So let's just get started with hip hop birthdays, man.
You know how we do, Dialect. Let's go with it.
Yeah, man. So the first birthday we celebrate this week, man, is somebody who's probably in a lot of people's top 10s. Eminem, aka Marshall Mathers, aka Slim Shady, celebrated his 47th birthday this week.
Happy 47 to the Slim Shady, but also you forgot aka Mr. Overrated.
Not because he's not talented. I'm just saying overrated by some of his fans that don't listen to hip hop music. Of course, he's going to be your number one if that's the only artist you listen to.
Hey, man, a lot of people like the Slim Shady, man. Be careful, man. Watch your mouth, Dialect.
Yeah, man. But I mean, had a very impressive career. You know, a lot of cats that come out, start off underground, don't end up at the level where he ended up. You know what I'm saying? Hey. So just to see his level of success, Oscar winner, Grammy winner.
Yeah, he's doing it all. I was going to add, Dialect. I would say a lot of people who's been in the game for a long time don't have the success in career
Facts.
that Marshall has.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Slim Shady, man. Happy birthday. Next birthday, Big Brother. I guess 1/3 / 1/2 of Big Brother rapper Big Pooh celebrates a birthday.
Yeah, Big Pooh.
You know the group Big Brother, man. That's Fonte, Big Pooh, and a producer by the name of Knife Wonder.
Knife Wonder, yeah.
Celebrate your birthday. Architect 7, what's good?
What's going on, fellas?
Chilling, man.
Brother. Welcome, Architect.
What's going on, everybody?
Next birthday we got.
Anniversaries, baby.
Birthdays first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Next birthday we got 1/2 of the Loonies, hip hop one hit wonders. They had the big hit. I got 5 on it.
Yeah, that was a dope joint. If you're 1/2 of the Loonies, are you just a loony?
Yeah. Your Architect, how the beat sounding? The beat too loud?
Nah, sounds good.
Sound good. All right. So happy birthday, Yuck Mouth. Next person celebrates a birthday. Praz of the legendary rap group the Fugees.
Praz to me is like the unsung hero of the Fugees. What did he do? Did he make the beats or something? Was he just a producer?
He was Wyclef's cousin. I know that.
Okay, so that's how I got in.
Yeah, according to Wyclef said he wrote his rhymes too. So
wrote Praz's rhymes or wrote.
No, he said he wrote Praz's rhymes. He said some of the rhymes that he said he wrote them.
Okay,
like, you remember Praz had a little beef with him at one point. Then Wyclef kind of called him out on that.
Yeah, and didn't he wasn't he dating? Was he romantically involved with Lauren at one point?
Nah, I think that was Wyclef. Yeah, but Praz, he went on to like donate to your favorite party, the Democratic Party. He donated to the Obama campaign back in the day.
Eddie?
Yeah, but shout out to Praz, happy birthday.
Yeah, no
Next
doubt.
cat celebrating a birthday, man. Underground cat goes by the name of Quelle Chris. New school dude, underground. Heard a couple of joints he did, but I know him from being a collaborator with Jean Grey, who's also his wife.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, he's married to Jean Grey. He's not Cyclops. So that was an X-Men joke, if y'all get it. Happy birthday, Quelle Chris. Next cat celebrating a birthday, man. Snoop Dogg.
Yo, man, I can't even front. Them Corona commercials are horrific for me.
I gotta say to your boy, man, your boy transitioned from the MC game to the acting thing. Now he's there breaking bread with Martha Stewart.
Yeah,
Water commercials, man. Snoop Dogg stay getting paid, man.
Hey man,
definitely does that.
Someone was telling me, man, you know, we talked about the top disses and the top 5. Yo, you want to talk about the top longevity in hip hop? Yo, give it a shout out to Snoop. Man. Snoop, Jay-Z, them dudes got longevity, baby.
And who would have thought that
sure.
the dude that was all shy in the deep cover video would take off like this? You remember him in that deep cover video, man? How nervous he looked in that shit.
I don't think he looked at the camera.
Huh? Yeah, he had his head down the whole time, man. And look at him now, man.
Yeah, now you can't get enough of it.
Yeah, you can't get enough of Snoop. Snoop is everywhere, man.
Yo, big shout out to the big Snoop, man.
Happy birthday, Snoop. Next cat, man, from out of Flushing, Queens. Royal Flush celebrates a birthday.
Damn, I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Yeah, man. Royal Flush, man. You know, he came out with Mike Geronimo back in the day. He had that one album. I forgot the name of the album. I know the joint on that was Iced Out Medallions. That shit was crazy. Shout out to Royal Flush. Next cat celebrating a birthday, ASAP Ferg from the ASAP Mob.
Yeah, I saw him in his latest video with the green hair, man. What's going on with these brothers, man? I couldn't believe he was from New York, man, with all that shit.
Hey, man, you can't be one of them old heads hating, man. If dudes is putting green hair out there, man, that's what you gotta do, man. You know, back then rappers just used to put on just used to rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Now
hey, man, come on, man. There was some during our time coming out rocking the tight leather pants with halter tops.
Yeah, right. But I seen ASAP Ferg looking straight up like a Loompa man in one of his latest videos.
Maybe it was for artistic value.
Oh boy,
yeah. Another. I like her music. Happy birthday to Doja Cat. Celebrates a birthday.
Doja Cat.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to the best natural body in the game. Not a fan of her music, but definitely a fan of her body of work.
Yeah, she kind of does that little mashup of hip hop, R&B, pop. So you know, it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
I think I was lost when you said pop.
Yeah, you know, you hear that shit in the gym, you ain't gonna get mad. You know what I'm saying? You hear it at the pharmacy, you nod your head when it comes on. Next dude celebrating a birthday, man. Howard University graduate and MC Tracy Lee.
Lee.
Remember he had that hit back in the day, man.
Party time.
The theme, yeah.
Wow.
Dope album though, that Many Faces album. And he got a joint on that with Biggie. I don't know if you guys remember Keep Your Hands High.
Yeah, I was gonna
say he was going ball for ball with Biggie on that joint, man.
Absolutely, man. Big shout out to Tracy Lee, Howard University. Met Tracy Lee one time at homecoming, man. He was lit. But we had a good conversation, man. Shout out to
I'm sure you were too.
He's a lawyer.
And now he's Tracy Lee Esquire. So don't get it twisted, man.
Don't get it twisted, baby. Lawyer, legal. I'm glad to see brothers doing their thing, man.
Yeah, shout out
to DC. Still in DC.
Shout out to Philly.
Yeah, Philadelphia. Catching the DC as Esquire.
All right, now let's get into we got some time so we could jump into our album anniversaries. First album we got Celebrate Anniversary. This is actually Ludacris's second album. Back for the first time, but it's like his I guess this is his breakout album. With joints like What's Your Fantasy was on this. How do you guys feel about Ludacris when he first came out? Do you think he would have the longevity he has now?
I thought Ludacris was dope.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't up on it like that, but yeah, it's impressive.
I thought Ludacris was highly talented. You know, he was a radio disc jockey. You know, he was like, you know, Big Tigger to us in the DC area where, you know, he was DJ turned rapper. I thought he was multi-talented.
And I thought, you know, he was like one of those fun rappers. You know what I'm saying? He had like a cool delivery. You know, it wasn't like it was basic, but it was good enough. It was good enough where some hip hop heads will like it and some pop people will like it.
He was entertaining. Ludacris was entertaining.
He was very entertaining. And What's Your Fantasy? He had some dope ass chicks in that video.
So a lot of heads were saying that T.I. verse Busta Rhymes, that this should have been a matchup. Ludacris versus Busta Rhymes.
Yeah. So right before we get done with the anniversaries, man, I want to bring somebody on to the show, man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, David Simonism.
David Simon. What's up, bro?
The booty
Hey,
still stinks.
everybody. Good evening. Good Friday evening to everybody. I apologize for my tardiness, but it actually took me an hour to figure out how to get this thing hooked up again.
I told Juan that's what it was, man. You know, when you ain't used that mixer for a while, it happens to me, man. Sometimes you forget what buttons to push. All that
I couldn't hear you guys. I couldn't get the microphone and the camera working. It was actually quite a task, let me tell you.
Yeah, it takes some time. But yeah, we just started hip hop anniversaries, album anniversaries. The first one we got is Ludacris. So what do you think about Ludacris when he first came out, Dave? Okay.
Dave froze.
We'll go back to Dave.
Saw that Ludacris and froze up.
Yeah, so the next
but that's what they were saying. They said it should have been Busta versus Ludacris. They said that would have been
yeah, that'd have probably been better. Now I don't think Ludacris would have backed down. I think Ludacris would have accepted the challenge. Yeah, man. So the next album we got to celebrate anniversary. Diggable Planets. Their second album, Blowout Comb. I mean, the only joint I remember on this one was Ninth Wonder.
Man, I'll be honest with you. I didn't get too deep into their catalog during that time. It's maybe the major songs.
You said this is the first. This is the one before.
This is the second album. This is the second album.
Oh, this is the second one. All right. So I'm Cool Like That was on the first one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They was one hit for me.
Yeah, shout out to them. This album right here, man. I know I use the term classic a lot, but this is a classic in my book. OC released his first album, Word Life, back in 1994. This shit right here was crazy, man. I know Architect 7, you remember this album, right?
Yeah, man, it's been so long though, bro. I mean,
yeah. I mean, when he came out with Time's Up, a lot of people in my neighborhood was like, yo, that shit is kind of whack because the beat sounded a little off to them. But I heard that shit. I thought that was the realest song ever put out as far as hip hop goes, because he was calling out a lot of cats that was front.
And he's still rocking out now, isn't he?
Still doing it, man. AZ is still, OC is still doing it, man.
Yeah.
What sort of games you guys playing here?
I ain't playing no games, man. You know, that's blame StreamYard, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but this album, man, it was like, you know, it was a little disappointment for OC, man. He wanted it to have bigger sales. But, you know, as far as like underground classics go, this one is one of those, man. Like, it had production from Primo, Buck Wild, had joints in there like Ma Dukes, Born to Live, and Word Life. You know what I'm saying? Had some classic joints on it, man. So, shout out to OC.
I was gonna say, and you know, with DITC, still doing it. Man. Exactly. Shout out to Eddie, man. I see you, Eddie.
Yeah, exactly. All of DITC. That's my foundation, man. Straight up.
Classics go. This one is one of those, man. It had production from Primo, Buck Wild, had joints in there like Ma Dukes, Born to Live. Yeah, I don't know this, man. I'm a ventriloquist on the low, man. Yeah, next album we got celebrated anniversary, man, is Scarface Diary. This one right here, man. I believe this came out in 1996. Ghostface Killer's first album, Iron Man.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't help but laugh, man. What a flashback. I look at those colors, man. Those fleece jackets.
This joint right here was crazy, man. I mean, just from the whole concept, when he took the audio snippets from the Education of Sonny Carson, he brought back Force MDs on this album. I mean, this joint right here was crazy, man. Do you guys remember this one?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Daytona 500 with a video. He took clips of Speed Racer in that video.
What song is on that one, right?
What's that?
Shake Little Ghost?
Nah, that's on the second joint, Supreme Clientele.
Oh, okay.
The joints on this is All I Got Is You with Mary J. Blige.
Okay.
Winter Wars, Wildflower, Motherless Child.
Oh, yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
Assassination Day.
Okay, I remember the cover, as a classic, but I couldn't tell you which one was on it. But yeah, those are definitely bangers.
Yeah, this joint was a banger, man. It's a good follow up to like Only Built for Cuban Links. Yeah, so we're gonna get back to hip hop anniversaries. We got our special guests in the green room.
Yeah. Be more in the house. Be more careful.
Yeah, let me just turn down this instrumental. Sound a little loud to me. Yeah, so we got coming in from from Baltimore, Maryland. Ladies and gentlemen, Ill Conscious.
Ill Conscious.
Peace, peace, peace.
Yeah,
How you doing, man?
All is well, brothers. How y'all feeling tonight?
Oh, we chilling,
All right,
man.
Thanks for stopping through, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's a pleasure, man. It's an honor to be here.
No doubt.
No doubt, man. So you just dropped the video, right? Awakening?
Yeah, I just dropped Awakening with Omnia's Allo 8 off of the Epic WMS project. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And then you also recently did a joint. What was it, George Fields?
Yeah, that joint is called Tabernacle. It's from the producer's album Tomorrow's Sun. He's from the UK, and we dropped a joint with him, and we shot a video for that joint. And from there, man, it just kind of took off. My joint was the first single for his project.
Okay. And where did you shoot that video? And you was out there in nature, man. I was wondering where you guys shot that video at.
Hey, look, man, I try to pick the most obscure places I can find in the rough. You know what I mean? That shit was in Baltimore somewhere, man. It's just hard to find. A lot of people don't have access to them type of locations and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a different type of mind and a different type of, you know what I mean, know how to get to certain places. You know what I'm saying? So we try to make it happen, man. We can't go nowhere. We can't go overseas and out the country, and we try to utilize every resource we can. You know what I'm saying? That's around us.
No doubt, man. That's exactly what we're trying to do here on this side, man. Bring some of the dope shit to people's doorstep, man.
You already.
Yo, Conscious, how long have you been doing it, brother?
So, man, I've been recording. I probably recorded my first track in 2004. It's on record that 2015 was the first LP that was that was put me on the scene or whatever. But I've been doing this shit for a very long time, man, since high school. And I used to record, I used to mix my own stuff, I used to do my own engineering and all that shit till the point I got lazy, and I don't want to do that shit no more in my older age, man.
Yeah, you gotta work with everything, right? Being independent. I mean, you figured from soup to fucking nuts.
Right.
What part of Baltimore are you from?
I'm from West Baltimore. I'm from the other side of things. You know what I mean? We're a little bit more civilized on this side of town. So
compared to the side that they did the show based on The Wire.
I can't hear you. Say it again.
The part of Baltimore based on The Wire, is that the west side is the opposite side of that?
That is in West Baltimore, but people forget that The Wire is actually shot in East and West Baltimore. So a lot of the earlier episodes, a lot of the earlier seasons that was taking place was in West Baltimore. You know what I mean? Like the terraces and all of that, color homes and all of that. All of that shit is based on the West Baltimore project.
Did they tear down the towers for real?
Yeah, they tore down the towers. Most of the projects are extinct. A lot of them are still up and current and running. But for the most part, they like all those towers, the high rises and all that shit is gone.
That shit's happening everywhere, huh?
Yeah, man, pretty much.
Wow.
And then they move us out into the counties and shit. You know what I mean? So you know how it is.
Yeah. Ill Conscious, what's up, brother? How long have you been Ill Conscious? You were once known as LeVar Conscious, is that right?
You dug deep. Yeah, man. So it was one of them things where it started as Bloody Conscious back in like 06, right? It started off as Bloody Conscious. I had different variations of the name. Then I dropped that shit. I just called myself Conscious. And then it got to a point where I'm like, shit, I really don't want to call myself Conscious anymore, because when you have that type of name, it kind of associates yourself with a certain type of sound, a certain type of music. But at that point, I had already gained a fan base with that moniker. So what I did was I ended up, just trying to fit something in front of Conscious, because there were numerous, artists under that same name. And so we had to figure something out. You know what I mean? I had a dude that was like, yo, you real ill, yo, you think a lot, whatever, whatever. It kind of just stuck with me after that. The LeVar Conscious shit seemed a little corny for real. So, we dropped that shit. And, the ill conscious shit just kind of stuck with us for real.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. And I saw on Wikipedia, you used to go by Divine Justice Allah. So you were a part of the 5% Nation?
Yeah, that's my righteous name from back in the day, you know what I'm saying? And I still go by that. I still abide by all that shit. And, we just here, man. Like, whatever you want to call me. You call me Divine, call me Ill, call me LeVar, whatever you want to call me, brother. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Just call me,
right? I answered all of them, yes.
Okay.
So, Ill Conscious, I see the freestyle that you had with the other two members. Are you a group? Are you a part of a group?
So all right. So let me break it down for you. So Dirt Platoon is my brothers, my brothers from West Baltimore, who's been doing this shit actually longer than us. So, they were the first ones that I saw doing tours overseas that was really showing, improving the work ethic, you know what I mean, and really making, putting Baltimore on the map in that sense. They went to France, they went to all of them. So I probably met them back in 2009. 2010 at a dope ass cipher that was happening in Baltimore and shit, and we didn't even realize we was on the same label until like we saw the website and shit. We had our names all in the same shit, but we never really met in the same room. So they kind of served as my mentors, and I was under their tutelage, no pun intended. You know what I mean? I was under their tutelage, and I kind of just honed my skills and shaped I learned the art of stage presence, delivery and all that. And those are my older brothers, man. That's Rap and Snook. Salute to them.
When you're in a freestyle and someone interrupts you and stops you from flowing, does that upset you?
Yeah, hell yeah, they set me. Especially if I'm about to get off, man. Hell yeah, that upsets me. Your shit better not be bullshit either. That shit better be fire. You gonna cut me off.
Have you ever approached anyone about cutting you off during a freestyle?
Say it again.
Have you ever approached anyone about cutting you off during your freestyle?
Nah, because usually it's like my brothers or something like that. It's never really anybody that that I don't know or I'm not familiar with. Brothers not that bold, but when you with your brothers, your sparring partners and all that, it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all love.
Yeah, so, like when you were coming up, who were like some of your influences? I see they like compare you to like AZ, Big Pun, Big L, but who are you influenced by?
So I listen to a lot of like Black Star. Like I'm just gonna give you like around high school who I was really listening to that really kind of shaped my sound. I would say Black Star. A lot of Little Brother at that time. Elza, Sean P. A lot of cats that people probably wouldn't think I necessarily listen to, but as far as like legendary cats, yeah, I was a Pun head. AZ, Nas. I did not listen to Big L a lot at all. Like it actually wasn't in my playlist at all. I didn't start, listening to Big L until, probably like in the 2010s or something like that, when people started to try to compare me to him and everything like that. But it wasn't something that was ingrained in my, my listening selection growing up. I listened to a lot of, just Queensbridge MCs, Tragedy, Gaddafi, Capone Noriega. I was huge Cool G rap fan. Shit like even I ain't gonna lie, even Eminem was an inspiration to me back in high school. Back in those days, his pen was king. And yeah, man, those are nothing around about inspiration. I listened to a lot of Jay-Z heavy back in the day. Yeah, the usual suspects.
What does that triangle mean to you? I see you put it in your video. I noticed you used the triangle in one of your videos. What does that triangle mean to you?
Which video you speaking of?
Give me 1 second, sir. My apologies. Is it the Mutiny?
Mutiny. So, you know, a lot of the times, you know, people will say that, you know, I'm using certain symbology and all of those type of situations. You know, what it is, though, you know, we truly are the illuminated ones. If you really dig deep and really understand the history of us and who we come from and where they got their knowledge from, you know. So a lot of the things that I'm using are not symbolism that is not familiar already, you know. It's not things that we don't know already about ourselves, and it's cool for the controversy, to be honest, you know. And so it is what it is, you know. So
Right. I hear you. Why wouldn't you use the other spelling of conscience?
say it again. I can't. My bad. It's just like a
My,
little
my
delay.
apologies. I was wondering why wouldn't if you said back in the early part of the interview that there are numerous MCs with the handle conscience, in actually spelled in the same way
Yeah.
that you spell yours. And I was wondering, since there are two different versions of the word, why wouldn't you choose the second?
Because I feel like that's what I am. Like I'm conscious of my surroundings. I'm conscious of life. I'm conscious of who I am. You know what I'm saying? We're having knowledge of self and everything, thing like that. Um, it just makes sense, you know, as the type of artist that I am. Even though, like I said before, though, I don't like to be put in that certain box. But in these days, in these current state of affairs, it's much needed. The content is much needed, and we need those conscious artists or those woke artists or what have you in a time like this to really kind of, you know, balance out the spectrum. So I just felt like it was appropriate. There is another MC by the name of Ill Conscience, though. So you know, but he's, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about it. But
I got you.
the ill conscious factor is definitely something that was intended purposely for that reason. You know what I'm saying? To get people to understand that this is a situation that is I'm trying to wake you up with socially and politically. You know what I mean? Whatever commentary you getting from it, street shit. You know what I mean? Something that make you think, something that make you love your children a little harder. And that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to attack that. You know?
Yeah. Ilkan, the discography goes back to 2005. I mean, I remember, you know, Bloody Conscious Volume 1, Be More State of Mind Volume 2, 2006, Above the Influence 2008, The Underachieving 2010.
Yeah.
But then we had some gap years, brother. What happened? I mean, it took a couple years, you know, The Essence came out, Logistics. I mean, what's the hiatus about?
I was always dropping shit, so it was like over time I started to do little, you know, collaborative albums with different groups, and I was a part of so many different little cliques and entities coming up, and it was really like I didn't really have a set lane, and it felt like I had like a little bit of a identity crisis when it came to my content and who I really wanted to be in the music. So I was always dropping content, always had material. Because I made that transition. I was one of those artists that was on MySpace, that was on SoundClick, and that's kind of where I built the core of my fan base at, and it was able to transition and transpire into something bigger than to what it is today. A lot of people think I just came out the blue, but no, I've been doing this shit for over a decade, you know. So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you kind of got to just adapt to the situational, you know, substance that's going on. And for real, man, after like I think 2010, I dropped the Underachieving mixtape, and from 2012 to 2014, I was working on the Essence. I just didn't drop it until 2015. I had another project that I.
Is that me? Did I do it again?
I think Ill Conscious, brother, I think we lost the signal from you real quick, but just a quick reminder, we are checking in with HipHopCitizen live stream, Ill Conscious out of Be More here on the live stream. You know, going over his discography.
Let me take this one off.
See back there?
Bring the other one in.
Yeah, Ill Conscious. talking about his collection of work, his catalog, the discography, the mixtapes, the albums, 2019 Logistics, 2014 The Essence, of course, did some of the High of Life in 2013. Got some nice visuals out there. Be sure to check that out, of course.
I was getting ready to ask him. I know he was talking about kind of waking up people, being more stuff. Ask him what his bookshelf looks like.
Yeah, that's a good one there, Architect. Let's see if we can get him back on the line there. Ill Conscious, if you can hear us, brother. I think here he comes.
You got a couple of
Let's pick one for him there.
Yeah, this one says.
And don't forget, the lines are open. You too can call in. Let us know what are your questions for Ill Conscious, the Baltimore MC.
Here he is. What's up, Ill Conscious? You back?
Peace. I'm back, yo. My bad, yo. I came outside, so I wouldn't have to deal with no fucked up ass signal and shit. But it's a little crazy, so. But I'm good, though. We back.
So, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Dave.
No, I'm getting reacclimated. My apologies, everyone. I'm trying to control myself. So, Mr. Ill Conscious, I was wondering, you have such a unique flow with the like the Morse code da when you rap. I was wondering what made you come up with that, or did one of your teachers or elders
speaking on my the flow, like the
yes.
delivery and all of that.
Yeah.
So it really just kind of evolved over time. I always had that, like, the knack for that multi-syllable shit, and just the alliteration, the repetitive, vowels and consonant sounds and shit like that. Like I'm real into that wordy shit. But over time, as I felt like I started to hear people trying to sound like me in a sense. I don't know. It's weird. So every time that happens, I feel like I got to add something different to my arsenal to make sure that they can't fuck with it. So that's when so that's when I started to play with the cadences a little bit more differently. Started to flip the shit, do the double entendres a lot differently. And I think I do some shit that a lot of people can't do, you know what I mean? And that's just the method to my madness when it comes to that.
See, for everybody watching, those that are familiar and those who aren't familiar, he broke down the science of emceeing to you, which is a big fucking deal. Right?
Yeah.
So I make sure I said that.
Yeah, I just want to say I noticed that right away, man. When I heard your album, it's like, when other rappers try to have the ill flow and they try to be conscious. It's like, they be a little off, but like your shit is just perfect, man. Pristine. You know what I'm saying? From flow and content. You know what I'm saying?
Tell them Cash stop trying to take my shit, man. We own this.
We got a question from the chat room. Eddie was asking when he thinks more. He said he immediately thinks of Ill Conscious, J. Royale, and Jamil Honesty. Track out there with all you got on it.
I hear that last part. You said, is there a track with all this on it?
Yeah.
So unofficially there is. I don't think we ever put it out. It was actually on the original Tutelage project that me and J. Royale had recorded, but we never dropped this shit because we recorded all these songs back in 2015, 2016 over that span of time. And look at us now. Our pens have evolved so much, so now we had to really kind of scrap that shit and go back to the drawing board. But Jamil was on that original Tutelage project, that never necessarily saw the light of day, but we would perform them shits. Like we would perform songs that we recorded, but the public hadn't necessarily heard, on record. So I got a couple joints with Jamil. Jay got a lot of joints, and I actually been trying to orchestrate something to have all of us, do something together. I pitched the idea to brothers and everything, and everybody with it. But it's all about getting everybody on one accord, and everyone's moving.
Yeah, that's
right
the hardest
now,
thing, trying to get everybody's time lined up.
Right, exactly. We in the same city and everything, but you would think it would be easier to link, but everybody got families. everybody got their own, you know, personal situations and circumstances that arise. And so, you know, we just try to do it the best way we know how. So we still moving as a conglomerate. We still promoting each other's shit, marketing each other's shit, cross promotion. And that's what it's all about, to really for them to understand, you know, the Baltimore brand and how strong it really is. Like we don't have to always do songs together, but when we do, it's definitely going to be profound and efficient.
Yeah, I'm kind of noticing, man, just as far as Baltimore and DC at this point, just as far as hip hop in general, they're really raising a bar, man. It's good to see, man. For the longest time, I feel like having been in this DC and Baltimore hasn't really gotten their just due. And I think it's finally starting to come through guys like you and Uptown XO out in DC, and you know, good to see, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. But it's still a little weird here. You know, Cat's still not really trying to give us our flowers here, and you know, we understand it. We get it. And boom bap isn't really a popular subgenre in Baltimore. It's always looked at as though y'all trying to be New York rappers, y'all trying to be New York MCs just because we want to rap on a certain production, and it's weird anyway. Baltimore has an identity crisis when it comes to hip hop. Like we don't know if we want to be trap stars or fucking, you know, Rakim. We don't know. Like it's crazy here. The dynamics.
Well, that's kind of hip hop in a
so,
nutshell, right? If you really put it in
yeah,
perspective, there's
right,
always that angle.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let me
And you
ask
know
you,
what's
when
at
you
the
perform,
forefront here, you know, the trap shit.
Mr. Ill Conscious,
Say it again.
Mr. Ill
Yes, sir.
Conscience, can you? Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm here.
If when you're performing and you perform a song that the audience doesn't know, is that strategic to shut them up?
Nah, I really I feel like, you know, I don't want to rob the fans of the whole experience, especially if I got new projects, I got a new, you know, I feel like you should get that in the flesh. That's the only way to really show and prove that I'm evolving, I'm getting better, I'm honing my skills and everything like that. So I'll throw something in there from the new product. Like we have a live streaming show coming up on Sunday, and this will be my first time performing since March. So it's crazy, right? Like, so I plan on doing some work, some tracks from the Epic of Gilgamesh. This would be the first time, but I feel like the people need that. But also going to revert to, you know, putting some of my older joints on there and the classic joints that people know before and the people know. So I like to kind of switch it up. I don't necessarily have one set, if that makes sense. You know, I kind of adapt to the audience, and whatever I feel like rocking that day, that's what I'll rock, you know.
So this live performance, there will be an audience.
So
Yeah.
no, it's going to be live stream on it's not going to be a live audience, but it's going to be live stream. So I guess it's going to be a live audience in that sense. But
No, not I
the
meant
venue
in the
is just
room
going to
with
have.
you. I meant
Say
in
it
the
again, I
venue
can't
with
understand.
you. In the venue with you, will there be
In the venue,
audience members?
No, he said it's live stream. It's a stream.
Right. No, I was just
you
saying
talking
that
about
was
Sunday?
yes, on Sunday.
It's a social distancing, I believe, bait question.
Okay.
I think he froze again.
I think we lost him again.
I think he just using that to get rid of me.
Nah. Conscious, you there? Yeah, he froze.
Ill Conscious.
He came back. He just,
Yeah, he's very seasoned. He's ready for the big show.
We haven't even gotten into the questions of the Conway collab with Griselda. We got another MC that with the Griselda collab. Well,
Yo, Conscious, you there?
Yo.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. I see here that you did
Bad, yo, that shit is crazy. I'm not anticipating this shit to be fucking up like this at all. I'm here though.
Yeah, I see you did you said you did a sold out show in South America. What country was that?
Colombia.
I was in I was in Chile actually. It's all good. Yeah, I was in Chile, and we had 4 different shows, and I had a in studio performance somewhere, and I had to It's called the in studio performance was Sesiones de Estación. That's like it's like one of those things where they record you, just performing a track of yours or whatever, like a live in studio joint. The other 4 shows, they were in Santiago and different parts of Chile surrounding the area. But we also did a joint at this venue at this show called Impossible Beats, and it was kind of like a Saturday night live setup and kind of feel to me. You had your audience members, you had your live audience, and you had the camera, and it was an actual show that they was putting on. It was a popular internet show in Chile. And I went out there and had a ball, man. And unfortunately, my brothers couldn't make it with me, so I was just out there killing shit, trucking through there.
Okay.
I know you in the
Shout
clean
out to
living,
Chile, man. Shout out to Popular's Freestyle.
Yeah, we often don't hear too much about hip hop in Chile. I just didn't know that there was a. Think we lost him again. Didn't know there was a audience out there. Here you go. We got an audience. We got an artist that's traveling the world in Chile. Shout out to Chile.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say Guyana because that's the only English-speaking country in South America. So I was like, okay.
Well, yeah, that's pretty interesting in itself. That you can hip hop is like that where you can.
Yeah, but the key component of being able to travel around is good music, great beats.
Yeah,
that's
the what is it? The language everyone understands. So he must get in great production.
Yeah, and I think people they always assume East Coast hip hop is boom bap, but I just say that's just hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's like a backpack style of hip hop. Everybody, that's pretty much textbook. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. All right, we got him back. Hey, so
I had to move from this area.
Question, man. What is what books are on your bookshelf?
Currently, I got They Came Before Columbus. I have a couple books that have a lot to do with hip-hop nation knowledge itself. A lot of the books with different history books, documentation books. I even got the damn Bible on my damn bookshelf. You know what I mean? The Quran, everything, man. Everything's on the shit. Like, I can't even say which one because I don't even read like all of them at once. I'll go here for something. I'll go here for something.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of just all over the place with it. I'm very content driven, so I'll read a couple books all at once. Lately I've been just kind of doing a lot of research via internet. Been just reading a lot of articles and newspaper articles and shit like that. I'm real antiquated in that sense as well. I still will pick up a damn newspaper and just get content from that and just make sure.
So just when I listen to your music, I almost feel like you probably think a lot like I do. Do you feel like you talk about like news and media? Do you think it's on the show?
Say that one more time.
Do you think so? Just based on some of the lyrics that I've heard, some of the songs, it kind of seems like you might think like me, but like when I look at media and like, me and the guys kind of get into it, like politics, right? Do you feel like it's all a show?
Yeah.
It's all bullshit?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely all bullshit, and a lot of the times, I try to expose the bullshit or really have you or want you to peep the bogus in the bullshit. But I don't like to come up too preachy. I don't like to tell you, what you need to do. I'm just trying to put it out there what is in plain sight that you're probably unaware of. That's all, And I'm not telling you this is what you subscribe to. This is what you shouldn't subscribe to. These are my thoughts. These are my, my beliefs and how I feel about the system, and how my experience personally as a black man in America, and dealing with this shit, And when you like me, when you put out a certain content, when you put out a certain energy, you're definitely going to get other forces that try to repel and try to stop you from doing what you're doing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious, in your travels, have you tried any hallucinogens? Peyote, ayahuasca, anything like that?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
What mind-opening adventures did you discover?
I mean, I just love, I used to do the shrooms heavy and things of that nature, I don't want to speak too deep on that, because I don't know who's listening, but I definitely am an advocate for shrooms. Just recently today, actually, we had some mushroom infused tea. I don't know if you guys tried that shit before, but
I've been hearing
nice
about
trip.
it. What
Yeah,
kind
it's a
of trips
nice.
have you gone on? Like what was the most bizarre
Oh,
trip you ever
no,
experienced?
I don't have bizarre trips, man. I have a really experienced, open mind when it comes to that shit, man. I'm not gonna just dash it anywhere either with just anybody either, man. So a lot of times I'll be out in nature somewhere because randomly I'll see if you guys see my post. I'll be out in nature a lot, especially now that I have children and shit. And obviously I don't do that shit around my children or with my children, but when I'm out in that atmosphere, it's for me. I think that's the perfect time for me to do that shit. I get one with nature, one with the universe. It gives me motivation, and I kind of use it as a muse to write. So besides that, and the grass and all of that good shit, smoking good herb and the Moroccan hash and all of that shit, is just that's what I like. You know what I mean? So
Nah, you sound like a trip. I like that. That's what's up.
yeah, I love it.
So what was the most
Yeah, bro.
what would you say illicit narcotic you tried?
Oh,
I
come
don't
on, man.
try not too crazy. I don't try. I don't even fucking do like no. Like I ain't like. We don't do dope. We don't do crack rocks. None of that shit here. You know what I'm saying? We might have sold that shit, but we don't use that shit. You know? But nah. Look. The heaviest shit I'm on now is just marijuana, bro. That's it.
Very nice, very nice. And
And cannabis.
hopefully we'll get Biden and Harrison, and they'll decriminalize it, and we'll be able to talk about it everywhere in open platforms.
They decriminalized in VA.
Hey man, just hopefully. Hey man, look, something needs to happen. Just I'm not going to speak on the political aspect of it. That my feelings on the entire situation. But hopefully, black people in America and all indigenous peoples across the world wake up to the harsh reality that's going on and use our numbers to overthrow the oppressor.
No doubt. So what's this picture here with KRS-One? We see who's that?
Yeah,
Who
that
posted that?
that picture was taken right after I got off the stage. I just opened up for KRS-One, and that was January of this year actually. So that was one of the last shows that I had before the pandemic hit. That was the first show from the heavyweight round writer tour. And right after that show, I had a show with Jizza, opened up for the Jizza, and then we were supposed to go to France, Switzerland, and all that shit from there. But that shows what kicked. That KRS-One show was the show that kicked off the year for me. And yo, we had all the momentum in the world after that shit. We was ready to conquer 2020.
I bet.
Oh man, what's going on, guys? Oh, it must be the Wi-Fi in Baltimore.
Well, he's in the car. I think he said he stepped outside there, so maybe a signal thing there.
I mean, that's got to be a good feeling to open up for the Blastmaster KRS.
And
Man,
I
come
want
on.
to see too that he opened up for Rakim too. I want to ask him about that next.
There he goes.
You got to wait for it to load real quick.
Yeah, I mean, and man, actually between him and has been ridiculous. So
Absolutely, it's going to get into that. Actually,
did you want to ask me that?
Yeah, I was going to ask you. You opened up
This
for
shit is crazy.
KRS-One, and you also opened up for Rakim. Which one was a better experience? So it's like which one was a better show?
I opened up for Rakim twice, like in Baltimore, man. So I want to say the very first time I opened up for Rakim was the craziest show still to this day, besides the joints I did overseas and all that. But here, the first show that I opened up for Rakim, it's like all of us was we was on our shit that night. Like Jay was on point, Dirt Platoon was on point. Yeah, he was killing shit that night. So that joint was back in 2017 when I first opened up for Rakim. So I want to say that was probably the craziest show,
Okay.
since all of that, the 2017 joint. We had a lot of memorable shows, so don't get it twisted. The joints we did for KRS-One and the Jizza was dope as hell too. But it's like when we first opened up with the God, it was like the first time that this was happening of this magnitude, and we was all locked in.
And what kind of feedback did he give you?
Man, what was crazy is that a lot of the times in Baltimore, you don't really get a chance. Like you can be opening up for these artists, and here's the about it, but the promoters and other people, they have an agenda for you to not meet the artist, So a lot of times, the 2 times I opened up for the God, I didn't even meet him. I actually rap about that shit on certain tracks. I rap about not being able to meet some of the people that I've opened up for. I've opened up for plenty of people. A lot of the people I got to build with, like I got to build with KRS-One, I got to build with the Jizza, and things of that nature. Boot Camp Click, I didn't, a lot of that, but that Rakim one, that one had to count. But it is what it is. We'll get those opportunities again.
Yeah. Come up.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Static Select and Boot Camp. Their performance earlier this week. Was it this week or last week, Dialect?
I want to say earlier this week. I think it was Sunday, I believe.
Yes, we broadcast the Boot Camp anniversary with Static Selector, and you're saying that you're familiar with these guys. How do you become familiar with Static Selector Boot Camp?
Oh man, Boot Camp, that's legendary. That's the legendary click right there. And my brothers was going back and forth. They was going back and forth up Brooklyn and everything, and they would parlay with them brothers. They would actually be in the crib with Sean P and his wife and all of that. All of us, we know their wives, we know their families and all of that. Smith and Wesson, we've opened up for them a few times and shit like that. So it's like they're an extended family. They have family down here that know us, that are friends of ours, and so it's like they have an extended family in Baltimore as well. So when they come down here, it's nothing but love. As far as this whole Static Selector situation, that was just a blessing, man. My brothers was going up there to do their interview, and they pulled me up there to come rock with them. And then from there, I started getting more calls to come do the Shade 45 shows, the interviews. And like I said, man, we was really about to kill them this year. Like this year was really about to be a vital year, a vital piece for the Ill Conscious brand. And not to say that anything has changed or anything like that, but now we just gotta adapt and move in a different way.
Phenomenal. I monopolized most of your time tonight. I'm sure that the other guys have a plethora of questions. Here we go. Architect, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about that collaboration you did, Walk with a Gun, with Jay Royale and Conway. I know Griselda's the big talk of the town, but I noticed on that joint you closed out the song and you bodied it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wanted to know, like, Conway and Griselda give you love for that joint? Show you love on that joint?
Well, so here goes the whole story behind that. So as we know, Jay was creating the Irish Stoop, and Jay was one of the first people that was on that Griselda, that camp that had those ties with those brothers early on, and he did the track with Jay, but to be honest, I didn't really. I felt the way about how he attacked the track, or how Conway really came at Jay on the track, and I thought it was kind of like, it sounded like a little this word. This is my MC, you know what I'm saying? I felt like he was coming at my man, so I'm like, nah, we not about to do that, So I did my numbers on it. I'm gonna do me regardless, you know what I'm saying? So I did what I did, and that's just what it was. And no, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything from that camp. I've heard speculations from other artists and stuff about certain people's disdain for Ill Conscious, but I don't know how true that is because I'm not really in that circle. I don't really care. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yo, I've gained a
That is
tremendous
weird.
amount of respect for you tonight, Ill Conscious. You have no idea. And after you told us right there, it's just through the roof right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I've been
because
a proponent of getting rid of Griselda like you have no idea. So if you're out there spitting them
Yo,
lyrics to do it, thank you, sir.
no, I mean, like, you know, they just talk when I heard
I
him
mean,
drop that
like, man,
last verse.
don't get it twisted though. Yeah, right. Don't get it twisted. Like, listen to Griselda just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fan. I'm on the wave and all that. I don't post about it or whatever. But I listen to hip hop. You know what I mean? And I understand.
That's
I'm a
right.
realist, and I keep up with the tops. I keep up with the times, and I still like that type of rap. I listen to that grimy, grungy rap. I probably won't present to as often, but I like to listen to that shit, and that's why we have those artists. They're needed. But I'm just here to kind of balance it all out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I felt like needed to be done on that track. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
So it is what it is.
I didn't even
Man,
realize.
if you're gonna go off and show your ass, you might as well do it like that, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, you got to, man. You got to.
Yeah,
You know, you on a track with a giant. You know what I mean?
that's
So
right.
it is
No
what it
doubt.
is.
So speaking of giants, like, are you and King Los? Are y'all close?
No, bro.
Was that?
So yeah, not at all. I really a lot of the Baltimore artists, I don't really know what their position or disposition is when it comes to myself, but I know with the whole King Low situation, it was simply we did the business. Aloe did the business with him, did the business with me, and we made it happen because a lot of people wanted to see certain shit like that. So Aloe 8 hit me up and was like, "Yo, I got some dream collabs I want to see you rock with," and so he threw King Low's name out there and instead of seeing it as something like, oh no, I don't want to do something with him, I saw it as an opportunity. You know, everybody wants to see me clash with certain cats like King Los and other lyrical titans or whatever. But as far as us having a relationship, I mean, I try to reach out to him and everything, but it is what it is. I keep it moving, I keep it moving.
Let me ask you a question. Now, let's hypothetically say that someone pulls a stunt like you pulled on that track with Conway. Would you leave it on your album, or would you trash it?
No one has ever had the audacity. I honestly don't know if anyone could do that to me or the track. But yeah, and why I keep it, especially if I gave you the reference already to the track. And a lot of times that's what I'll do. Like I'll give you the reference because I want you to match my energy. I want you to match at least do your thing, trying to match the lyrical ability so that the song comes out to be a dope song.
Yeah,
I don't want no
sharpening
lackluster
each other's
bars and shit
swords.
because I've received lackluster bars from top underground cats, and I just like, I'm not putting this shit out. Like, it just that's how I am. Like, the song to be dope as shit. And I mean, I noticed like I started doing a lot of tracks with a lot of underground cats because a lot of people a lot of these video stations won't just play Ill Conscious alone. Like, they see me with a name, then that's when they want to play my shit.
Yeah.
And I understand. Like I said, I understand what's going on in the underground and in the mainstream world. So, man, you take the good with the bad, and we kind of we try to figure this shit out because I feel like I've carved out my own lane enough where I feel like none of that shit even matters anymore. Like radio and the popularity contest, none of that shit matters. Because no one got bust like this.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm checking for Baltimore MCs now, man, because the only rap I knew out of Baltimore at the time was like King Los. But then, Architect put me on the J Royale, then I got put on to you. So, and of course, Tay Rock in the battle rap scene. So now I'm definitely checking for more Baltimore MCs.
But that's the thing. My point
Yeah,
is
but
this.
definitely, yo, shout out to King Los though. Yeah, I
That's
was
what
saying
I.
shout out to King Los, yo, because he definitely killed that shit though. Like, so that goes without saying, taking nothing away from Sean. Definitely killed that shit, and he's definitely one of those people that if you are a Baltimore MC or a Baltimore lyricist or consider yourself one, he's somebody that you should actually be studying and seeing how he did it and all of that shit. So much love to King Los for even doing that shit. You know what I mean? So.
And that's the thing. I think the reason why I've been so heavily involved in what we're doing with this is I've been around here for a while, right? So between like DC, the whole DMV, all that, la la la, whatever. But it's always been here. That like what we're seeing, it's just now being seen. But when you're talking DC, Baltimore, even hell, even fucking Virginia, like it's been here. It hasn't.
Yeah.
It's just now getting the light of day, in my opinion. So natural. It's it's gonna blow, man. I mean, it's coming if it hasn't already.
Yeah, this shit it's definitely a Baltimore Renaissance period right now because it's a lot of shit that the underground cats don't see. We making a lot of noise in the mainstream world as far as like different artists get discovered from here, and there's a lot of love right now and a lot of eyes on the talent in the city, you know. And I think as long as we keep moving, we work together and continue to ensure that there's no division amongst artists. I think Baltimore can be like it can be one of
You
those
could be the Wu
areas
Tang.
for that golden age, golden era sound. You know what I'm saying? It could be one of them places. You know, so
Yeah.
we gonna get
Yeah,
our time soon. Though it's coming.
I was just saying, with the group of MCs that's in that area, you guys could be like a form of a Wu Tang.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it's
I
deep.
agree. You know, but you gotta get one on one accord though. You know, everyone has their own egos and everyone has their own situations that they want to do, and a lot of times your vision of a group or a conglomerate might not be in the same realm as somebody else's. So a lot of the times it's a lot of issues will start to arise once shit start getting moving. Once the momentum start pushing, you'll see who's the weakest links and who can't really handle the pressure, and you know man, that's how that go.
So, do you find it easier to do by yourself and kind of manage the people that you deal with when you deal with them, as opposed to creating um, that one big unit?
Yeah, I mean, because everyone has their own like brand and their own uh fan base and all that. A lot of the times we're not exactly done with what we're doing with our solo careers, and which is rightfully it's understood. I get it. um and a lot of the times it's hard to juggle certain shit, so we'll get to it eventually, or we won't, inshallah. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's one of those things where it's love for everybody, and when we come together, we come together. You know what I'm saying? But when we are doing our own thing, everyone is respectfully doing each other's things, and we considerate of everybody else's. If somebody's dropping a project at this date or at this month, we try not to kind of step on each other's toes and shit like that. So we really trying to move as a unit, even though we're unofficial as one. But when people see us out, like at these shows, we're seamless, So that's kind of how it has to be, and that's the way that I would like the audience and everyone else to perceive us as a hardworking conglomerate from Baltimore.
Well, you said earlier that you were on a label. You were signed.
No, I did a lot of I did a few deals though, like label deals with a couple labels overseas and things of that nature. A couple licensing deals with certain labels, but no, not exactly signing on a dotted line and I'm signed to an album for X amount of albums. Nah, I got a little bit more artistic integrity when it comes to shit like that, and pride in my own craft. So no, I'm not signed to a label. Not necessarily shying away from any opportunities, but I think I'm good with how we moving right now, though. You know. It's like I
you
want to
don't
be in
want
control.
A&R. You don't want an A&R who's a mountain climber and plays an electric guitar.
You know what's crazy? Like I like shit like that though. I definitely I told my business partner this. I said, yo, when I stop rapping, like I'm recruiting some eclectic ass talent. Like it's gonna be, I'm gonna have a fucking jazz singer, some you know, a bass player. I'm just gonna build some shit, yo. But I gotta build like amongst the top elite artists in their genre, you know, because I only want to work with the best, you know. So yeah, you never know, man. You might see me in a damn executive suit or some shit, man. Like signing the next hot artist, some shit. I don't know.
What would you call the company?
What would I call the company?
Yes, sir. Black Daddy?
Nah, this is say Black Daddy Gang right here. There's some brothers from Baltimore that created this clothing line for real. So shout out to all the black fathers out there, man. Shout out to everybody.
Mm.
But as far as the name, I can't even hold you. I'm not good with names right off the bat. I'm not good at all with that shit. So I couldn't even tell you, man. Like I don't even come up with the name of my album until all the tracks are done.
Interesting.
and sometimes I won't even have the track name until the track is done.
So you would never put out a conceptual album.
Say it again.
You would never put out a conceptual album, like you would do a topic and just rap continuously about that.
Yeah, no. I would definitely do that, and I feel like I played with a lot of concepts when it came to the Epic of Gilgamesh and everything. So I'm kind of definitely hidden in that lane and everything. But as far as like conceptual albums, there's definitely a possibility for shit like that to happen in the future. I love to push the envelope and push my pen and just kind of challenge myself, because at this point I feel like I'm shadow boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't want to, y'all know I can rap. Like I want to give the people different
Have you
content,
been
different
approached?
creative songs.
Has been majors coming at you? Have you been approached from any major outlets?
I've been approached by different cats, different outlets, but it's all the same though. They want me to really compromise my sound. I'm too hip hop for some. I'm too boom bap. I'm too 90s. I'm too this. I'm too that. I never gave a fuck about that though. I kind of just stayed to myself. I lost a lot of producer friends and shit of that nature just because I didn't want to conform to a certain sound and things of that. So, and I've got them label try to call me and all that shit, but and reach out, but I'm not really too interested in conforming much.
Okay.
I don't know about these guys, but me personally, Ill Conscious, I only have one request. And this is my first time being on Friday Night Live in about 2 months. And I haven't heard in all of the past interviews that I wasn't a part of, that I've gone and researched, I haven't heard anyone spit a 16. So, Mr. Ill Conscience, I was wondering if you would be so kindly to bless me and Hip Hop Citizens audience with the quick 16.
Let me see if I can kick some new shit for you. Let me see. All right. Let me think. You put me on the spot and shit. God damn. All right. Let's see. Let me see if I can remember some shit. Hold on. Let me.
Uh-oh.
That's
Uh-oh.
the way things go.
Nah, he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back.
Is he gonna come back?
Yeah,
Okay. Let's see some movement.
Uh-oh.
He'll come back with a freestyle for us, ladies and gentlemen.
He'll come back.
I don't think
no doubt.
he would leave us hanging like that.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't seem like the type of person from this interview and from the music that he'll turn down a freestyle. I don't think
yeah, he was talking this shit. So I have no reason to believe he won't. What's going on?
Hey, Micah, how are you, sir?
Then you missed it. Maybe we got Ill Conscious on. He should be popping back up here in a second.
Yes. and he's a fascinating. I don't know. I don't want to call him a young man. He's probably my age, but he's a fascinating individual. And
there he goes. He says, "Shit, you ain't going nowhere."
Okay.
There he is.
Yeah, I ain't leave that like that. Hey, yo, check, yo. From the depths of the woman to the darkest abyss of these grimy quarters, balance and blessings in harmony exist in my mind poorer. No calm nor but the sun arise like the bright aurora. The best part of me, arm Elijah with Molly portion, herb connoisseur, rolling the small granular. My words calm and soars to the foes and the star spanglers. The son of the most high, how they all mingle us, maneuver through the murkiest waters like large anglers. Thoughts is enshrined in a line with divine temperament. One world government, listen, they try and implement devilish projects and political crime lingering. Glove on the rubber grip, judge never could find fingerprints. Never any, instead it's passive aggression. Niggas rapping, but issues lack to address them. New world order over the natural selection. There's nothing natural about an actual projection. Conquer, divided, derived from these problematic differences. Blind eyes get defied by the holographic images. And in the midst, given these autographic signatures, you tell a lot where we from, traffic and narco tenements. Holy digger, these praise, they promote the thievery play. They control the populace mind with the lowest frequency waves. Gotta know your enemy, so we frequently train. Peace to the bombs of my bros recently slain. Yeah, you know, I'm tired of shit right now, but I'm trying to get on some shit.
Yo, bravo. I just have one last question. One last question.
Yeah.
Do you ever fear that your content it goes over the head of the audience?
Nah, because the ones that are in tune and that are, you know, knowledgeable of situations, they'll get it. And I feel like my core fan base, they get it, they understand it. And I don't really feel necessary to dumb down the content because I'm really not saying anything like that you don't know. It's just in a more. It just sounds like it, and it sounds like it's in a complex manner because of the syllables and shit like that. When you break it down, that's why I try to rap like slow to you just now and shit. When you like break it down, it's really like it's regular shit, but it's just how I deliver it and how I flow it. You know, to me.
Very, very fascinating. Thank you, sir.
No doubt, man. So, yo,
Yeah.
we thank you for coming through.
Yo, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this again too when Acres of Diamonds drop, yo, because I don't like how this phone and shit kept going out on me. So next time,
hey,
I'm
bro.
gonna get y'all on the laptop. Yeah, yo, I'm gonna get y'all on the laptop. We're gonna really chop it up.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anything you need, you let us know. What new project you got coming soon? You got some new stuff coming out?
Yeah, man. I got the Acres of Diamonds. That's gonna be the LP that's coming out in December. So everybody that was waiting on that for earlier in the year, we dropping that shit in December. You know what I mean?
All right, so we should be seeing you in
Acres.
December then, is what you're telling me.
You will see me in December. I'm gonna be on a laptop and shit. I'm gonna have on my best clothes, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it big.
All right, no doubt, man. Thanks for stopping through, man. I'll be in touch, bro.
No doubt. I appreciate y'all, brothers, man.
Peace.
All right,
Listen.
Peace.
Peace.
Ill conscious, everybody. Another dope MC from Be More. You know,
yo, man, exactly what I expected, man. I kind of knew. You know how sometimes you get the artists, you can just kind of know. You like Dave. What Dave said, he's polished. You can tell.
Yo, I listened to all 4 of his albums on Tidal, man, and I was, like I said, highly impressed, man. I kind of felt like, you know, early AZ from the Nas album, Life's a Bitch, with the flow. And like, you know, he had that hardcore delivery, but then he had the conscious content. So he was kind of even like early Nas almost.
You know who? I'll tell you who he and I keep saying this to everybody. He reminds me of, if you take that moment when Big L and Jay were freestyling on the radio, and Big L like fucking went Hulk on the whole fucking freestyle. If he took that, encapsulated it, and threw some conscious into it, and then it's amazing, man. Like he took that one for me. He took that one big element and just kind of. That's just where I'm at with it.
I don't know if you was here. I need to cut you off, Dave, but I know you wanted to hear him talk about the Conway thing, but I don't know if you overheard. He said he wanted to go off on that song because he said he thought Conway was going at J. Royale in his verse. Yeah,
and that's what I was about to say. The one thing that I took away from that interview that really impressed me was the man's confidence. See, a lot of MCs that come on here, they don't how do I say, express themselves as confident as he did. And he said, he practically said he could take apart Griselda himself if he had to.
I don't know if he said all of that.
This fucking guy. He said, cut that shit out.
I don't know if he's said that. Like I said, it's pretty hard.
He said he ain't backing down from shit.
Yo, it's hard when you hear a Conway verse and then somebody comes on after him and you're like, yo,
who's that?
I didn't even remember that Conway verse. I was like, yo, this, because I was like, okay, Conscious is rapping last on this. He bodied it, man.
Every time. Every time that whole.
Like I said, every track that I heard of him, the lyrics were on point. Whether it was a boom bap beat, it was a jazzy beat.
See, so we're gonna dig further into the Baltimore scene. I'm trying to get at Durham, and I want Jamil Honesty. Man, we gotta touch that. We still got a rack of DC heads to go through.
And King Los.
What's that?
King Los too, man. I like King Los because he went at Kendrick Lamar, man.
Oh, King Los is nasty.
Him and Papoose, after Kendrick tried to call out all them rappers, Papoose and King Los both rapped over that control beat, and Kendrick Lamar had to say, you know what, man? Them dudes got me, man.
Man, I can't even explain to say, like, how proud I am of the area. It sounds corny. Yeah. Like, the area itself, knowing what's been here the whole time, and then seeing what's developing, it's amazing to me, man.
But like he said, that the industry want him to conform, and he's not willing to conform. And sometimes the industry will punish you if you don't do what they like, because it's an investment, and they only going to invest with what they believe is going to be successful. And to allow someone to be, how do you say, color outside the lines and outside the box, you have to earn that type of je ne sais quoi. And
yeah, kind of like the you build it, they will come.
No. You follow our rules, then you can do whatever you want.
Well, I'm saying from conscious perspective, his is more like, fuck, I'm gonna build mine, then you're gonna come to me. Which I can appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to the internet, man, I think anything's possible, man. I wonder if there wasn't any internet or social media, if we would know about all these gems that's out there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of like how crews like Griselda coming out of Buffalo, because back in the day, if it was just regular radio, you had to depend on BET and MTV. It would have been hard for somebody to come from somewhere outside of New York City and try to make it. So and that's internet, man. It makes it a lot better.
And that's why they're doing what they're doing as far as trying to shut streams down, because it's become that easy. Right. I can go outside right now, write a 16, go outside, shoot a video, put it out.
Yeah, I think like these internet rappers are dwarfing these trap rappers.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I think more like Griselda, like, to be honest with you, they shouldn't be blown up like how they are with the lyrical content that they have. But the mainstream can't stop it because it's online.
But the game has changed too. I mean, they got to drop more albums faster. That's why you hear Griselda dropping an album, it seems like every quarter or two every quarter. So
that's the thing with social media. Back in the day, an artist could drop an album every 2 years, right, and it's not be surprising to you. But now, if a cat doesn't drop an album in the next 6 weeks, right, you forget about him.
Well, you seen I don't know if you saw what I posted on the site on Facebook when
the Milano,
the Milano when he said, y'all stay trash every month.
But nah, some dudes put out some heat though, man.
I agree. But from a topic perspective, right? How much of that same topic can you push on before finally that's like, okay, what's next? You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. And that goes for underground, it don't matter. I'm not targeting any specific level of it.
Yeah, man. So speaking of the golden era, we're gonna get back to album anniversaries. This was actually a good week of album anniversaries. I don't know if you guys remember this one. This is the debut album from Black Moon, Enter the Stage.
Speaking of golden era, man, everybody's aware, man, on Mondays, you know, we do the Addicted to Jazz on Facebook. We're also going to be stacking another show, which will be exclusive to Twitch, which is a golden era. So you'll see a lot of underground golden era and above ground golden era by DJ Rags.
You know, Architect, I was highly impressed with the golden era. That's a must see. That's really must see social media TV.
Yeah, and if anybody's listening on Twitch or y'all want to go to Twitch, the video is still up there for both sets, the underground, Addicted to Jazz, and the golden era. So y'all can check it out to see what Architect 7 is talking about. But yeah, this album right here, Enter the Stage, man. This came out when I was like, I think freshman in high school. The first joint I remember was Who Got the Props? And after that, man, I mean, how many MCs? I Got You Open. I mean, this album right here was bananas.
Yes, it was what made it so fantastic. You want to talk about jazz? The horns that is used on this album here, B minors really put their foot in on this album here.
Yeah,
as they say.
And you know, it's a true story. I actually read it was actually in a book of like hip hop albums where they interviewed the DJs and the artists. And Evil D was saying they actually sampled from tapes instead of records.
Cassettes
on this joint. Yeah, cassettes. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say cassettes because people don't know. Yeah, so they actually sampled from cassettes.
I don't know what the fuck are either.
And then also, the biggest thing was like, you know, Buckshot rapped in most of the album because it was two MCs. It was 5FT and it was Buckshot. And Buckshot just said in the interview, he was like, the reason why he did that, he's like, yo, 5FT didn't finish writing rhymes as quick as him. So he would just write to the entire beat. And 5FT just got on like a couple of songs after that.
Well, let's be honest. Black Moon really consists of Buckshot album. And I look at it as a Buckshot album. I don't look at it as a 5FT and Evil D album alongside Buckshot. I consider it a Buckshot album.
But if you want to say Buckshot, it got to be an Evil D because Evil D is like his DJ Premier. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Evil D and Mr. Walt.
Yes.
Because they were the producers and the beat miners. Yeah, man. But this right here actually spawned the careers of so many other cats. Smith & Wesson, Helter Skelter, OGC. This was actually like the seed that was put into the ground that sprouted Boot Camp Click. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Smith & Wesson is actually on this album as well.
Oh, that's one of my favorite songs, man. Black Smith & Wesson. I don't know what that reggae sample they had in the beginning. I don't know what Homeboy is saying, but that song is crazy, man. Load the clip, bust sled to the head, the nappy-headed dread, Buckshot and ball head. I mean, then Buckshot, you know, did you notice how he changed flows? Like on Who Got the Props, he was quick. Then he kind of slowed it down on How Many MCs. Then when he did I Got You Open, he just flipped it and started like singing and harmonizing. I was like, Buckshot, man, he doesn't get a lot of credit, man. I think you got to put him in the category of underrated MCs, man, because people don't give Buckshot a lot of credit. And a lot of people bit his shit too.
Well, the thing about Buckshot is he unfortunately came out around the same time as Notorious B.I.G. And Notorious B.I.G. was seen as a huge platinum artist, and Buckshot was underground. So he got dwarfed, no pun intended, by the shadow of Notorious B.I.G. And that's why I think a lot of the animosity between the group and Junior Mafia started from. But this is all me creating this. But there was an incident that occurred, and no one could understand why they were dissing each other and all that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. I think Boot Camp might have felt that Big was stealing Buckshot's light.
I think what happened, they said it was an incident with Starang, and he had a run-in with somebody in Junior Mafia in a studio, and it led to some type of altercation, and that's where like the beef started from.
Well, Strain dissed Big, supposedly. This is all alleged, everybody. Strain dissed Big. Junior Mafia ran in the studio and grabbed Strain up. All alleged, ladies and gentlemen. Took Strain to a payphone. This is how old this is. Dragged Strain to a payphone. They called Big. Big said, yo, apologize, supposedly. And Strain said, "Fuck that. We in this. It's hip hop. It's music. That's what we want to do. You want to diss me? That's fine. What have you?" And supposedly, some members of Junior Mafia put hands on Strain. Now, that's why it continued, and they did the video where they come on and they take the Versace shades off of the supposedly Notorious B.I.G. and kicks him off stage because of that incident.
They said, pretty MCs that claim they got gats, fronting with hoes and videos with pimp hats.
Right.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's that New York thing I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? If dudes see you one-on-one, they don't do nothing to you. But if it's a situation where it's 5-on-1, they want to jump you and take you to the payphone. So,
well,
I'm just saying.
I'm supposing that Junior Mafia was thinking that the boot camp clique would be in the studio with Strain. And
approach them squad for squad, man. Approach BCC when they full, and you bring Junior Mafia, Little C's, and Little Kim, and all of them, and you guys step to each other that way. That's how I feel. Don't get a man when he's by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like what Baby said on Breakfast Club. I want to approach you, but I think that was gangster. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. That's one thing about New York I never like. Dudes running up on dudes. It's 5 dudes and it's one person. Come on, man. That ain't gangster.
Hey, I'll tell you like this.
Until that one dude pulls out, letting them fly.
I seen a man pull out a kitchen knife.
Listen,
skirt.
I heard y'all last week talking about Big didn't make no diss records on Tupac. Au contraire, mon frère.
No, we didn't say that.
What was the diss song?
How to Rob? No, not How to Rob. What is it? 10 Crack Commandments was an insult to Tupac when he
Who
was
shot
talking
you?
about when he was talking about how to survive in the game.
Yeah.
And Tupac was already getting pistol whipped and beat and shot in studios and robbed. That and also the one where he was talking about how he, the story to tell. I got a story to tell. He's talking about a story to tell about that incident that occurred, which he can't tell because he was supposedly involved in the incident. So, Big was throwing subliminal diss records. He wasn't flat out.
But he didn't have a diss song.
Tupac was direct, though. You know what I'm saying? Tupac
was under investigation. There's the twist. By Big being under investigation, he couldn't blatantly say this and that and that and the third.
Nah, I always looked at it like, Big tried to take the high road and say, I'm not going to respond. I'm going to make money. That's how I looked at it. I didn't look at it, anything. I just thought, when Tupac dissed him, he should have came out and just called him out by name,
Right.
That's what Brooklyn does. You know what I'm saying?
Well, get your game on track and not your way pushed back.
Yeah, so the next album celebrating
this album right here.
Pharaoh Monch released his debut album back in '99, Internal Affairs, his first solo album because he was a part of the group Organized Confusion. But the funny thing is the biggest hit on this album was actually the song that kind of helped him not make money because Rawkus didn't want to pay for that Godzilla sample. And they said how, at first they just wanted him to pay something small like $40,000 and Rawkus didn't pay it. So after the song became a hit, the price went up after that.
Of course.
Yeah, so but that shit was as creative as hell, man. Simon said.
Yeah. Dum.
Yeah. People don't give Pharaoh Monch credit, man. The way, like you said, the double entendres and
man, stop
Pharaoh Monch
playing.
the beats, man. Yeah.
In fact, if we were talking about, we went through our most slept on. I would have to say this would. I don't know how this was missed.
Yeah, Pharaoh Monch is that dude.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Buckshot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out Sherry T. What's going on?
And I think he got experimental too. So a lot of people, you know how that goes, man. Some from art, they don't want to get experimental, and it kind of alienates the fans, and then people start acting funky from there.
Yeah, I thought it was dope, man. I remember he had a joint on this called Behind Closed Doors. When he's like, what is a scorpion? An animal that stings. I'm like a bat with blood coming out the wings. You should never in your wildest dreams shit on a nigga that resides in the borough of Queens. I'm like, just like the way he was delivering shit, man, was crazy, man.
You know, it's funny. He also used some of that technique that I was discussing with the Ill Conscience, he also uses that flow.
Hey, is the light on this?
Yeah, the
I
light.
know
That is on
you
there.
can see the
Yeah,
night. Boy, stop playing. Jam it.
This was a dope. It was a sleeper too, man. This was back when a lot of cats. Yeah, Ruckus had an ill. Yeah, Ruckus had an
Marcus
ill
was that
lineup back
shit.
then. They had an ill lineup back in the day, man. But this was actually like I think the song that bankrupted them, man, because they didn't want to pay for that sample.
That's crazy.
$40,000, man.
Yeah,
That
but
shit
that's
could've been a
I
commercial.
mean, you're kind of damned if you don't. I mean, like you ain't gonna. At that point in time, what were they really rocking as far as cash flow? So 40,000 of them at that point in time, probably like that's a big chunk for a gamble.
That was the budget for Ruckus. A Ruckus album, 40 G's was the budget.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. So at that point, they were like, "Yo, fuck it, we'll take our chance." I get it. You know what I mean?
They didn't see the vision, man. That song was so creative. Simon said you could have put that shit in commercials, basketball games. They would have made that money back 10 times.
In fact, I was just about to say a lot that was played a lot at some of the high school football games.
Yeah, that beat alone is crazy, man. I mean, they didn't see the vision, man. Yeah, the next album celebrating anniversary. I mean, it's an underground joint. Handsome Boy Modeling School.
Yeah.
Prince Paul and Dan the Automator. The Firm.
Okay.
Released their debut album back in
Was that Phone Tap?
Yeah, Phone Tap was on this. Firm Biz. This is actually the second rendition of the Firm because the first one consisted of Cormega. And this one, Cormega was replaced by Nature.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I wasn't really familiar with this album other than Phone Tap and Firm Biz, you know. I mean, I'm a fan of all MCs on this too, but just them as a group, I wasn't really feeling the joint.
Dre was the exclusive producer, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I didn't go all the way in either.
Yeah, but these cats are solo artists, dope. This album right here, man. This is actually the second album I ever bought in my life when I went to the Wiz to buy this. And I gotta say, man, every track on this is fire. 22 tracks. Every track on this is fire. Even the interludes. I know. What's your favorite joint off of this album?
Come on. I don't know no tracks off this album except pick one. What was it? The choice is yours. That's it.
The choice is yours. They had Strobe Light. They had Similac.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you gotta jog my memory. You know what I mean?
They had Flavor of the Month. I know you got the feeling for the
Yes, I know that.
You got it going on.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, yo, go back and listen to this album, man. Shit was dope, man.
I'm definitely gonna do it.
And this came out when?
91.
Wow. Holy shit.
But in the meantime, you know,
91.
This was like one of the only two tapes I had. I had this and Coogee Rap's Wanted Dead or Alive. That was the only two hip hop albums I owned.
Holy shit. 1991.
Yeah, I was listening to this shit all the time.
Like, how old are you?
I probably was 15.
Oh, okay.
So I was. What's that?
And what Wiz did you go to?
You said what Wiz? I went to the Wiz by King's Plaza because you know it was walking distance.
Woo, you had heart. You went down by the plaza by yourself?
Dude, man. King's Plaza is one of the safest areas in Brooklyn, man. I mean,
you're crazy.
Marine Park.
And, the
Wiz wasn't in King's Plaza. The Wiz wasn't in King's Plaza. Remember, the Wiz was outside King's Plaza.
Right. So it
was like going towards the park. It was outside the mall.
Man, the mall was always infamous for violence.
Correct, but it was outside the mall, like I said.
Okay.
But sometimes it spills outside the mall.
Oh man, he went 12 o'clock in the afternoon to get this album. I'm telling you, man.
Listen, man. I mean, I always kept a box cut on me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the truth comes out.
I always kept a box cut on me.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? So it was all good. Let's just say I still have the tape, man. I still have the tape. But yeah, I listened to this joint from cover to cover, man. This is a dope album.
Yeah.
And Della from
cousin. I'm surprised you didn't mention that.
I who's that? Dress?
Yes.
Yeah, Q-Tip is also on this album too. There's a track called La Minaj. Like I said, I only know this because I played it like 700 times back to back. So I know every song on it. And every song on it is hot. Yeah, they're also members of Native Tongue, and actually both of them are like Mr. Long too was a pretty dope MC. He just like 5FT. He didn't rap on most of the songs, but
he rapped.
Yeah, Mr. Long rapped, man.
I thought he was the DJ.
Nah, he rapped.
That's
but
an odd album cover.
Yeah, because they were Black Sheep, but ain't no Black Sheeps in there. I guess they're the Black Sheep.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so the next album celebrated anniversary. Del the Homo Sapien released his debut album back in 1991. What's the name?
It's Mr. Dabalina.
Yeah, I wish my brother George was here. Is the name of the album. But you know, Del was always that weird cat. But you know, still put out decent music.
I'm sure he took his good share of psychedelics.
Yeah, and he's also Ice Cube's cousin.
Right.
And Chuck D, man, back in '96 released his first solo album, The Autobiography of Mr. Chuck.
Never heard a song off it.
I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I don't know any tracks off of this.
Either, bro.
I was gonna say He Got Game, but that was like Public Enemy, so I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
This album right here, man. The second album from M.O.P. Firing Squad was released back in 1996.
Oh, this is the second one?
Yeah.
And they're still banging. Still
this shit was fire. Dude. Oh my God. Downtown Swinging. World. Oh.
Is this the one that's
famous?
Cold as Ice?
Nah, Cold as Ice is way up there. That's the one with Annie Up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but this album right here, I went back and listened to it. Bananas, man.
I mean, if you think about Annie Up, that's like, it's been used in so many areas of just pop culture on the DL.
Yeah.
They will live off that song forever. For
Absolutely.
real.
I don't know if they own it. Maybe the label might
would be a good thing to research.
They probably do. I don't know if that time they were signed to Rockefeller.
It would be hard if they didn't, that's for sure.
Yeah, they probably were signed to Relativity, one of those other labels at the time. But yeah, man, Lil Fame and Billy Dance, man, out of Brownsville. And
Look
then
how Fame looks.
They also,
baby.
They also had the third member on this album too. I don't know if you guys remember who that is.
Teflon Don?
Teflon. Yeah, he was actually supposed to be the third member, but he got locked up at the time. They got their record deal.
Yeah.
And they had a girl in the group too.
I think she was the manager, Big Fox or something Fox. Yeah.
Oh, man, y'all remember more in that area.
But this album right here, I mean, pretty much any M.O.P. album is crazy, man.
I was just about to say, and they're still doing like, and Lil Fame is also a dope producer too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he produces tracks, man. Yeah, the latest album he put out was with the late Sean Price. They had an album out together. Yeah, that shit.
M.O.P. actually had some drama in the game too.
Yeah, they had a little beef with I believe Smooth the Hustler and Trigger the Gambler.
That's right.
Because when they came out with their producer for they were the first people to work with DR Period. And then DR Period came out and he started working with Smooth and Trigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never knew what that beef consists of. I just thought it was some old Brownsville Hilltop, Clinton Hill type of beef.
But then it got squashed later on because DR Period wound up producing Annie Up, which was their biggest hit. So they got back together. But yeah, Smooth the Hustler, man. I mean, we got to talk about them cats. They were dope too, man.
They were all right.
Man. Nah, Broken Language is a classic, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on. It got them.
Say Smooth the Hustler?
Yeah, Smooth the Hustler, yeah.
He was he got hemmed up in Stafford County years back, right?
By who, the cops?
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say, I thought he got hemmed up by some Stafford County dude.
You remember that?
I can't.
He was driving through. He was driving through, got caught speeding, and then you know what I'm saying, they do what they do.
And I can't remember who it was that came and got us, but their homeboys were inside 7-Eleven. And their man, I think it was his manager, and he had a briefcase, and the cops, I'll never forget that, man. They harassed him right in front of 7-Eleven, asking him what was in the briefcase and shit like that.
Remember the Lexus? They was pushing the Lexus. I remember.
Yeah. Was it you I was with?
No, I wasn't. I heard about it. I remember the story. You know, it was big news for us who lived there at that time.
Like, yo, Smooth the Hustler got locked up. Everybody was out. Y'all came out.
Yeah, they was pushing the Lexus. Yeah, right in front of 7-Eleven, bro. The cat came out there anyway, whatever. But they just reminded me of that. The small town that he got pulled up in there.
Wow. But that's what I was saying. That broken language got Trigger the Gambler a deal with Def Jam, and that might have been that Lexus money.
I'm just saying that beat was ridiculous, though, man. From the beginning of that beat, between Smooth and Trigger. I mean, you had to give Trigger a Def Jam deal with that shit, man. Because that shit, I first heard that on Stretch and Bobbito, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? And I didn't even know it was Smooth the Hustler. Because remember, Smooth had a song called "My Everyday Lifestyle Ain't Nothing But a Hustle."
Yes, that was his coming out party.
That was his coming out, but I didn't even realize it was the same dude. I thought it was some underground cats. Then when I saw the video, I was like, yo, Smooth the Hustler? I was like, that right there changed it for me, man. But yeah, man, shout out to Brownsville, man. Shout out to M.o.p. Shout out to Smooth the Hustler and Trigger the Gambler. But definitely, man, if you guys got time, check out this album, man. Again, Firing Squad.
Shout out to Boot Camp. They were also in that area.
Yeah, Brownsville too, yeah. You're right.
And that was an equivalent to a Wu-Tang, but they just weren't together.
Yeah, I wonder if all of these Brownsville cats that got together, man, what damage they could have did, man.
What's that guy? The Cellar Dwellers as well could have probably ran with those guys as well.
Yeah, because technically, you know, East Flatbush kind of runs into Brownsville a little bit. Yeah, man. Shout out to M.o.p. Yeah, this album right here, man. You know, I like Ice Cube, man, but this was some trash right here. This joint, man, some pure unadulterated trash.
I liked it.
Thought that joint Bow Down was whack.
Hell yeah, because I didn't like the disrespect. The commercial had, I remember he was watching the commercial at Howard, and they had the torch of the Statue of Liberty fall to the ground down to her sandals. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Then they show the Statue of Liberty's hand, and she's like this. I was like, yo, that's disrespect, man. You got the Statue of Liberty going up the west side. I said, man, fuck this, man. I said, this album is pure unadulterated trash, man.
You don't even know a song on it.
I got no love for this album whatsoever, man. Bow down when you come to my town. Bow down when I'm West Coast bound. I got no respect for this album whatsoever, man.
Is this
I like Mac 10, I like WC. I don't like West Side Connection because what they were trying to represent at the time. I didn't like that.
Damn, all right.
I'm trying to remember the song, the single for this.
Bow Down.
Besides Bow Down, how many albums did they do together? 2?
They had a couple of joints, but like I said, you know, my ears couldn't listen to it, man. You know, I was like,
they think they're decent. Mac 10 is decent MC.
They had pure. They didn't like the East Coast, New York, especially on this album, man. I mean, and then WC did a joint with Gangstar, and he said a line in the joint, man, like, I'm doing this track with my East Coast sisters, and it was only dudes on the song. I was like, yo, this dude was disrespectful, man. So I was like, I couldn't fuck with it, man. Sorry,
wait a minute. He called Guru his sister?
Yeah, he said my East Coast sisters. He was being disrespectful, man. He was throwing subliminals, man.
I think he was saying, I'm doing this for my East Coast sisters. Like he's trying to get some East Coast vajazz.
I don't know, man. Like I said, guys, don't take it the wrong way. I just said when you guys put this out, they know what their main objective was. It was to shit on the East Coast when they put this shit out, man. So I couldn't mess with it, man. That Statue of Liberty thing was disrespectful, man. It was disrespectful.
You seem very traumatized by this album.
That's why I was so happy when that's why I was so happy when Common did the bitching you. Common was the one who had to end it, man. Common ended this whole West Side Connection thing. They had to meet with Farrakhan after that.
So do you not listen to the Snoop Dogg Dog Pound New York?
I do, because it wasn't, you know, they did that video in retaliation because somebody shot at them. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like a disrespect to the shooters.
On contrary, Fred, the shooting happened when they came here to shoot that video to that song.
Right. That's right.
That's when they sprayed them.
But see, it wasn't a whole album though. But then, you know, Tragedy, Gaddafi, and Capone and Noriega, when they dropped LA, that dwarfed that song. That fucking dwarfed that song. You know, nobody never plays New York, New York for the dog pound. But LA comes on, you going crazy.
Well, that's
Prodigy said they do that shit in LA and people go crazy, not even knowing that's a response song to New York, New York. That's how hot that shit is, man. I mean, they made an attempt to try to diss New York and failed miserably, but you know, it was all good.
Is it because that's how you feel, or is it factual that?
No, I mean, too, and then you know, Mac 10 married T-Boz, so
that's it. Right? Then we got to the root of it. That's all. I just want to get to the root of what the problem was with them.
You know, it kind of broke my heart, man. T-Boz was like, I got a new guy in my life. And I'm like, what? Who's she dating? I thought it was a basketball player, an R&B singer. Mac 10 comes out. I'm like, that's it for me, man.
Your dreams have been.
I mean, I never had a chance in hell, you know what I'm saying? But
I can't believe that would be your reason.
Well, so long as there's no.
It was the Statue of Liberty. This just added to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got love for Mac 10 as a solo artist, but Westside Connection as a collective, I can't ride with because their main objective was the shit on the East Coast.
And that's then T-Boz. And you said then T-Boz.
Yeah, then he married T-Boz.
Yeah, that's the root of it all. Everything else.
I've seen T-Boz recently. Maybe I think he did all right.
No, I'm saying I'm not saying I had a chance. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like, yeah.
Who's the better group, Westside Connection or the Snoop Dogg, Trady, Loke, and Goldilocks?
Snoop Dogg all the way.
Okay.
Like I said, man, I have nothing against Ice Cube, WC. It's just that whole thing. Because I thought, like, you know, East Coast rappers weren't coming at West Coast rappers at the time, but these guys were like direct with their disses. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they were supposed to be mad at the radio stations, but they
did it how Brooklyn does it.
You know what I'm saying?
Did it how Brooklyn does it, and they were straight forward with it.
That is true. That is true. But like I said, nobody responded to them. You know, they took it as disrespect, but that's why I was happy when Capone and Noriega did LA. I thought, you know, they didn't direct it towards the West Coast, but they were letting you know we could take your song and flip it and make that shit hotter than your shit.
You know, a lot of people believe that Notorious B.I.G. getting sprayed was because that video shoot got sprayed up.
What's that?
New York. Since they got
Cube looks so pissed off.
Hit up.
Yeah, you know,
doesn't Ice Cube look like he smelled something really bad?
And that's why Common got in him, because when he left NWA, he came to the East Coast to put out music. You know, with the Bomb Squad and Republic Enemy.
Oh, that was the dopest Ice Cube ever.
Right. So you know, you went back with him to help build your career. Then you're gonna come and shit on New York a couple of years later. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the point of that?
But yo, don't he look mad in that picture though? Like something smell. He's like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, that's only common distance. You know, he had to call up Farrakhan and say, "Yo, we gotta have a meeting. We gotta have a meeting," because he had no response for the bitch in you. That's how I felt. And
Man,
commented that because he called him out.
And T-Boz.
That was just a little joke. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm deciphering from what you're saying, Dialect, you believe that Ice Cube is a phony.
I don't believe he's a phony. I think at that time, what it was this whole East Coast, West Coast thing, which was fueled by Vibe magazine, that he was believing. Because I think a lot of people in the West and other outside of New York thought New York, like what Juan always says, they thought New York didn't like people from out of town, which wasn't true. New York people are the most friendliest people and welcoming people. David Simon could agree to that.
Okay.
If the out of towner is cool, if they don't come here and no fake shit, we show them mad love. Like when Cube came here, we was like, "Yo, Cube, come on, let's give you some tracks." So they thought we didn't have love for them. And then, you know, of course, the magazine article when they put East Coast versus West Coast, people actually thought it was a beef. And these guys went and did a whole album coming at East Coast. You know what I'm saying? So they fell for the okie doke.
I just have a question on this subject. Do you think Ice Cube would vote for Trump?
I don't think Ice Cube is a part of any political party. I just think he had the black community's best interests at hand, and the Democrats kind of said, "Listen, after the election," he's like, and so he took it to the Republicans, and they said, "Yo, we'll help you out," and they helped him out. It was for the black community. It wasn't a political move. It was for the community, and for that, I could respect it. I don't think Cuba will vote for Trump.
Okay.
So
Who do you think Cuba would vote for?
I got love for all of these cats, man.
I don't think Cuba's
this
going to
album.
vote at all. I don't think Cuba's voting at all.
Well, that's what his whole point is. Don't vote if they're not going to take care of you. So basically, he's trying to withhold the black vote hostage, and I don't think that's going to happen. 50 million people already voted, and the election is still 2 weeks away.
You're like, why do you want Biden in office? Because Trump.
Yeah.
What about what are those parties? Just get Trump out.
Yeah, that's it. We just got to get Trump out of office. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that, but don't knock Ice Cube for looking out for the community.
That's my point. Ice Cube, he threw it out there. He threw it on the table. Each of them had their own response. He doesn't control their response.
I like what he said. He says, "Hey, I didn't ask about any groups. I didn't ask about any of that stuff. I asked explicitly about Black Americans. I ain't talking about."
And that's okay.
Correct. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't think he was endorsing Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? And people are quick with this whole cancel culture to jump on people. And speaking of cancel culture, man, people are getting on 50 Cent's case, man, for what he said. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, what I didn't like is he said something like, "I don't care if Trump don't like for black people. If Trump don't like black people, vote for Trump."
True, though. Well, that's just true. This is true.
I didn't like him saying that though. Like,
I agree with 50 on that. Listen, your president is your president. If you're supporting the president for business purpose as 50 would, or anyone of wealth, it doesn't matter if the guy is racist or not. Who cares? I mean, we all work for probably jerks that we don't like, but as long as we're paid, we don't care.
I like the fact that the New York Post likes 50 fucked up and ashy.
Yeah, they did do wrong on that. They did.
Say that again.
They're like, you want to talk against our Democratic nominee? Take this, you son of a bitch.
No, the Post is more conservative Republican centric than they are Democratic centric.
Yeah, because they're under the Rupert Murdoch umbrella, right?
That's correct.
That's right.
And we all know Rupert Murdoch. He's a business tycoon from New England, London, Britain, and he continues to funnel money into political parties in America, trying to control the narrative as well as the media circulation.
I don't think they were trying to make 50 ashy. They were trying to make him look a little bit more ethnic. That's what I think they were going for right there. They were trying to make him like
you think there was contrast and all that stuff. The Instagram photos, there was.
But I mean, like I said, you know what? But here's the thing: I want to ask you guys: Is hip hop is hip hop a democratic like genre?
No,
absolutely not.
I think the Democrats are for the oppressed people in hip hop.
Maybe a genre, but culture.
No, because here's the thing: it's like 50 Cent is. I mean, like I said, he shouldn't have said the comment where I don't care if Trump doesn't like black people, I'm voting for Trump. He shouldn't have said that. He should have just said, "Yo, I'm not going to vote for Biden because I don't agree with the tax plan." But like I said, he's allowed as a citizen of this country to vote for who he wants. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I think
it's allowed to vote.
It's a knock. Yes,
I don't think he's a felon like that. I don't think he did like hard time or anything like that.
Even if he was a felon, I think he's done his time. He's not on any probation or parole, and I think that's all the criteria it takes to be reinstated as a legal voter.
Is that right?
Now the question that I have is it a knock on Biden or is it a knock on Trump? I mean, if 50 is saying the basic reason he's not voting for Biden is because he's going to tax the wealthy. Me as a impoverished man, I hear that he's going to tax the wealthy like that. I'm happy. I can't wait to cast my ballot.
Yeah, shout out to Gary. Says he sent me this image this week.
Wow.
But he said, "I'm gonna tell my grandbabies this is KRS One and MC Light."
Yeah. Damn.
That's just mean. That's mean.
They're really good friends, MC Light and Jada. I think MC Light stays often at the Smith's house.
I just thought that was funny, but you know.
Yeah, nah, Cube ain't wrong.
Yeah, I think Cube. I think both Cube and 50 Cent. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Look, I don't think it's so much as a race problem as there is a class issue. I mean, what 50 is talking about, he says, hey, he doesn't give a freak about the race issue. This is a class issue. You know, he's rich and the tax plan doesn't fit me.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
That's all he's saying.
And I hear that, and I think back to one of the headlines in the news this week was that the billionaires during this pandemic turned into trillionaires, and that concerns me.
Oh, of course.
This is what happens,
and they're gonna make even more when they get the cure.
Well, yeah, you got
the cure is ready. Line up.
And the kid,
cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching,
straight to the top.
Yeah, to everybody listening, you know, HipHopCitizen is nonpartisan. Nonpartisan.
There you go.
I don't know about that.
I did my mail-in ballot. You know, my wife.
Really? You already voted?
My wife put her party down. I always put nonpartisan, so I have the option of voting for who I want to vote for.
There you go.
But I'm just saying, I'm more leaning towards Democrat. I always lean towards Democrat. But like I said, I always leave my options open. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a part of no certain party. I just want to leave my options open.
Well, if you vote for Republican in Georgia, you're asking to be lynched.
Yeah, you're asking
Republican in Georgia. Nah, they gonna be my friend if I did that out here.
You're crazy. You're insane. They want to bring back. They want to bring back all of the Confederate statues. All of the.
That's what he's saying.
They want to bring all.
If I go into any job out here, because I'm pretty much in like rural Georgia, wearing a MAGA hat, I'm pretty much gonna get hired. You know what I'm saying? I don't think.
Oh, absolutely.
I know you get my lynched.
When the race war occurs, you're the first that goes, my brother.
Okay, Herman Cain.
No. Like I said, I'm not a part of any political party. Most of my votes lean towards Democrat. But like I said, I like to leave my options open and hear both candidates out. I don't just throw my vote away like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
So have you ever voted for a Republican?
Honestly, no. Never.
You didn't vote for Giuliani in New York?
I didn't live in New York at the time. I think the first time I was too young, and the second time I lived in DC.
Yeah, I think I'm just mashed up between. I think both sides have good aspects. You know what I'm saying? I'm not front like with the way that shit goes down. Like the right to bear arms is a big deal to me. The way shit talk, it's a big deal. I think you can't take that shit. You can't take that away. You can't.
But you got robbed though. The right to bear arms did nothing for you during the COVID crisis. You had the right to protect yourself from diseases, biological agents, and and I think that's where the Republican Party failed us. I mean, they sold us on the guns, but they didn't sell us on protecting ourselves from these viruses. 200,000 people had guns, but they're dead now.
I'll be honest with you.
Guns.
They had guns, but
all 200, all those deaths, every last one of them were gun owners.
Yeah, right.
I'll put them in the bell curve.
Fucking wine.
Yeah.
Where's the stat?
Bell curve.
I don't want to be reaching. He be reaching. Don't want to be reaching.
Huge reach. I'm like,
he's absolutely right. They all had guns. Not I don't know if they were legal.
There's a nominal distribution in everything. And
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
You can put $200,000 people into a bell curve. They had guns.
So what do you guys think about the debate? I think Trump made a comment in the debates that made him lose my vote. I think I'm not going to say it right now, but he made a comment. He said I'm the least racist person in the room right now. I said, okay,
did you see him do the white power? Did you see him do the white power?
Yeah. And I said right there, I said that's a lie. There's no way you could be the least racist person in the room.
That's a terrible.
Said I'm not racist.
That's a terrible.
That was a horrible lie. So I said, you lost me after that.
But he might have been in that room. Even at that point, he could be right. He could be right. How many other racists are probably in that fucking room?
I mean, when
he probably wasn't the biggest, but he damn sure wasn't the least.
That's what do five white guys say to each other when they're sitting in a sauna? I'm the least racist. No, I am. No,
that's what I'm saying. He wasn't wrong. But what he was saying, he was actually pretty accurate.
I agree.
No lights on.
Yo,
Lights on.
there was probably a brother holding the camera. They probably the Mexican dude on the soundboard like this.
Well, remember, he says, I can't see in here. It's dark in here. I'm looking for it.
Okay, so he the least. So I guess room is subjective. Room just means the podium to him. He's the least racist person in the room, and room means podium to him. That's what he means.
No.
And don't forget my favorite when he says, "Hey, I've done more than any president except for."
He means he's telling everybody in that room that he was in is racist, and he's the least.
That he recognized the things that he's said and done could be considered racist, but he's not as racist as David Duke or Ku Klux Klan. Just racist where he want to build a wall between the United States and Mexico.
He said in the room. He said he's the least racist person in the room. That's what he said.
He might have been right.
And he also accused Biden of being racist. So maybe he was saying he was
no, but man, about that debate. Fuck that debate. That shit was the dumbest shit ever. I'm sitting there listening to two guys talk about how close each other are. The whole fucking time. Oh, you with Russia. Oh, you. I'm like, so basically they're telling everybody to your face, yo, we be doing dirty shit and right in your face and smell the shit. On a debate like that? Come on, man. That ain't as evident as it has to be.
And then Biden kept bringing up the bleach thing. I felt like Trump, man. Yeah, that shit is old, man. Trump even said, that was a joke. Like,
and then Biden's doing for those families that are sitting on the table, and I'm like, fuck out of here. That motherfuckers don't talk like that for real.
We don't care about we don't care about secret bank accounts. I mean, come on. This guy's paying more taxes to China and foreign nations than
We're both going back and forth about that shit. The same shit.
Biden was trying to prove the point that Trump has failed us tremendously in the coronavirus fight. And the bleach comment is to say,
and he may have, but that motherfucker's been in government for as long as I've been alive. And what the fuck has he done?
Not as president.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But that's not
president 2 terms.
If Trump would have taken COVID-19 more serious than cracking jokes and things, he might have not been a victim of the disease as well as his family members.
And all the motherfuckers are full of shit. Last one, because at the same time they're talking that he was doing that, Nancy Pelosi was out in fucking Chinatown. But it's safe. Come out and have a good time.
She hasn't tested positive yet.
It's all finger pointing. It's all finger pointing. It's all bullshit. It's a show.
I remember I went to a lecture and this guy said, he was like, somebody asked me if I'm a vote Democrat or Republican. He's like, that's asking me if I'm a vote for Satan or Lucifer. I'm gonna be in hell with either one.
Well, at least we got Kamala Harris on one of the tickets, and that should be some sort of good standing. I mean, if Biden, God forbid, something happens to him, we have the first woman president.
First Indian American president.
Do you remember Chris Rock when he had that joke? He was like, there will never be a black vice president. And he never. Why? He said some black dude to kill the president. I was like, come on, that's messed up. Man.
He said, I'll go to jail. I'll be in jail. I'll be a hero. Everybody be like, hey, that's the guy that killed the president.
Yeah, that whole debate shit, though, Americans should be absolutely fucking infuriated that those are the two choices that they put up in front of everybody. And I'm telling you, Biden looks like he has a fucking hand up his ass. Somebody ventriloquist his ass. And then Trump always looks mad and he's always fucking like, what the fuck is wrong with these guys? Both of them. Trash.
Biden has the easiest campaign run and probably in modern history. I mean, he didn't really have to campaign. It's a COVID, so he stayed at home. He had a guy like Trump to go against. I mean, most of the vote is not for Biden; it's just against Trump.
Let me tell you how the Democrats are. They put out a statement that someone in Kamala Harris's team had COVID, and they canceled all of her promotions that they were going to send her on. Who did they send in her place? No other than Barack Obama. Okay, so they strategically played
right.
And they put the right pieces in the right part. And I think 2 weeks from today, we'll be talking about President Biden.
Biden.
I got to ask you guys, though, like, a lot of people ain't realizing this. For the past 4 years, the president has been somebody that wasn't even a politician. They never hold a political office. Was a guy who was on television. So isn't that a scary thing to think, like, down the line, It may actually be actors, comedians. This whole thing might just be. I wonder if it's going to be like a joke.
It is. It is a joke. What do you mean? If it's gonna be, it is. Already is.
So so was the guy from Dukes of Hazzard.
That's right.
He's a senator.
No, but Ronald Reagan at least started off with he didn't start off as president.
No, he started off as governor.
He was in Hollywood.
He started off as senator. But what I'm trying to say, Trump
went from an actor. He started off as an actor.
Correct. Acting, his first political position wasn't president. So what I'm trying to say, Trump, he went from businessman, reality show star, to fucking president of the United States.
Right.
That's a huge leap.
And put
you know what I'm trying to say? That's the biggest job in the world. So at least Ronald Reagan and Arnold Schwarzenegger, he probably would have been president if he was born here.
And just let America as a business.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a scary thing. So Kanye West, people are laughing at him, but they may be saying, "Yes, Mr. President." In 20 years down the line, you know what I'm saying?
To be governor. I'm looking for Ice Cube to be governor of California.
That's a scary thought, man. These other countries will be like, pretty soon Flavor Flav is gonna be up there.
Mm-hmm.
See, yeah, too extreme with it. Yeah, too extreme with it. None of those guys.
That was extreme. That was a little.
Or white. Donald Trump, they still have to have the power of being white.
Donald Trump is in a WWE ring getting body slammed by Stone Cold.
Literally.
And the guy is president.
Yeah. Talking about you to coming on DC and firing everybody in this cabinet in the same fashion. He took the reality show right into the White House. Was this
Vince McMahon's wife should have been president before Donald Trump.
It's going to be historically studied because he lost the popular vote. He won some states, some swing states that, you know, the ballots are still in question. So, you know, Donald Trump's entire presidency will be one big farce if he loses November 3rd, because it'll just be a 4-year nightmare America had to live through.
I'm scared he may win again, though.
That will legitimize him.
No, but see, here in Georgia, I saw this last night, and you know, my wife and I was watching the news, and they said Biden is leading in Georgia. He's leading the polls 47-46. And my wife was like, "Wow, that's close." I said, "No, that's a win for Biden, because in Georgia it should be 80. It should be 80-20."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now I'm wondering, like, facts. Yeah, so Biden is looking pretty good in Georgia.
But then again, remember, that's the same people that said, "Oh, the polls saying," and all of a sudden the fucking script got flipped. So
yeah, what if they're just filling out the polls and they're saying they're gonna vote for Biden and throw everybody?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Like,
no. The only difference between 2016 and 2020 is that Hillary Clinton was a woman, and nobody in the South is voting for no woman. Okay, not even women in the South is voting for a woman. This is a man. They deem him as some sort of a deity, white man. They'll give him their vote in the South.
And I'll tell you why I'm doing a mail-in ballot. Last night they had a news article about there's a white guy. He went to the voting. He went to the polls with a Black Lives Matter T-shirt on.
Got his ass arrested.
People were stopping him from coming in. They said, "You can't go in here with that shirt." You said
it's probably illegal.
People on the lines are saying he couldn't go in there. But I'm like, he should be free to wear whatever shirt he wants to.
Damn right.
But they weren't letting him go in there to vote. So that worries me. You know what I'm saying?
The rule is you can't have any political signs on when you go into the polls. In theory.
Why is that political though? It just says Black Lives Matter. And
that's an ideology.
Republican, you kind of see that as Antifa. You kind of see that as a political organization.
Absolutely, it's considered like the Black Party, Black Panther Party, or the Democratic Party.
So, should pull up that rule in the law book where you can't do that, because
it was state by state, right? It's a state.
It wasn't cursed. It wasn't profanity.
No, you Google political attire at a polling station and see what comes up.
I'm gonna do that right now and keep talking, gentlemen.
So what if I were to wear my country's flag on my shirt and going to try to vote? They will stop me.
That's different. That is a foreign nation. It has no power here, supposedly, unless of course it's Russia or China or Japan.
So the rule is based on advertisement. Right? The idea is that there's no political ads at the polling station. You can't go to a political station and see an ad or get inundated with.
Are you guys serious about that?
You can't wear a Biden button. You can't wear a mega hat.
It's a state rule, though. It's state by state. Yeah, but that's generally how they do it. That's why they're poll rockers.
So you mean tell me nobody could be in there voting with a Biden 2020 shirt?
They see it as an influence. They see it as intimidation and influence.
That's it. But Black Lives Matter, is it I guess they consider that democratic.
So they want it done in anonymity.
Well, what about all the people going in there with MAGA hats? I'm pretty sure they go in there with MAGA hats.
Well, again,
Not supposedly.
I would be offended. I would be
Yeah.
offended. I saw somebody with a MAGA hat at the poll station. But yo, get the motherfuckers out of here.
And according to Trump, Black Lives Matter is a very high contributor to the Democratic Party. So that would make them a part of the, what do they call
Not fair.
super donors, a super donor, and super donors is not.
Yeah, they would say that's not fair.
Political.
But that's just the thing. Black Lives Matter is not a political organization.
That's what I'm saying. So why?
Neither is the Koch brothers, but they're still considered political.
Right, the spin. It's the spin.
So I'm saying why he couldn't wear that shirt, because they were pretty adamant. The news did say it was illegal
in Tennessee. I think did it happen in Georgia or Tennessee? Because I thought I heard the election.
I think it was in Georgia.
Because I thought I heard the mission. The commission lady said that that was a one-off. They said that person was fired, and he shouldn't have done that.
Or stopping them from coming in.
Right. That's what I've heard. But I thought it was a different. It may have happened in
maybe it wasn't. But like I said, it came on the Georgia news, so I'm not sure if it was Georgia or Tennessee. Because remember,
to vote at a polling station, yes, it's illegal to wear.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading right here. And actually, this was an article on CNN on Wednesday, October 14th. They pretty much say that. They say you'll probably leave that MAGA hat or Joe 2020 shirt at home. The laws are specific to each state, and they're by poll workers.
Yep.
Now they might have not. It might have been on the books for centuries, but because now, I guess people feeling that an influence is getting, overwhelming with social media and things, that they don't want to be considered biased towards any particular party or candidate.
And of course, the same argument that was bringing up about the First Amendment is definitely one that's being thrown around as well.
Yeah, I swear in Brooklyn, when I voted for Obama, I told people with Obama attire on going into the school. I mean,
like I said, they probably didn't. They probably wasn't enforcing it until now. Now everything.
You got to think there's probably some battleground counties where like it's so mixed up. Like,
yeah,
do that in Georgia. They gonna fly in Georgia.
I'm pretty sure people are going in there voting with MAGA hats, because when you go there, they'll drive by with their flags. Some people Confederate flags.
I voted in Texas, and I seen someone pull up with a medical machine. They had two people pull out, get out of the car, and one person was carrying a cart, another person was carrying a medical bag or something. And the person came in and got in line with us. I was like, damn, he was ready to vote early.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. And there's motherfuckers coming up the hillside to vote.
Now, who's to say that guy wasn't a part of the pharmaceutical portion of the election? They weren't there to support Obamacare or.
My thought was this guy had the virus. I was like, yo, why is he coming with the medical? What he coming with a breathalyzer machine? What do you call those things? Those
oxygen tank.
Yeah, right. Those machines that they thought that everyone needed in the beginning of the COVID crisis, that everyone needed.
Ventilators.
Ventilators. I thought it was a ventilator. I said, dude, this dude got a ventilator. He must have the virus.
So I just want to ask you guys before we close out, who do you predict will win the election?
Well, according to the New York Times stats, Trump has got a 17% base and Biden has an 82% base.
Yeah.
That's never been seen before. I'm giving it to Biden.
Yeah,
Ohio,
I think
Pennsylvania, Michigan. You guys are going to decide the fate of the
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think it's going to be Biden, because I tell you what, I realized there was a lot of people in the Latino community that voted for Trump last time around, and I met some of them that said they regret doing that after he did the whole border thing.
Yeah,
so
he may lose.
But he was talking that border shit from jump.
Yeah.
About the stripping the parents and children.
Yeah, so a lot of them said they regretted voting for him because of that. So he lost.
Man, that's been going on though. Yeah. That's U.S. policy forever. That shit ain't been under just one president. It's been Republican.
They didn't separate families.
They did. That shit, man, that same policy been in place for fucking years, dude.
They didn't separate families.
Okay. All right.
There were a lot of people, because I met some and they said, man, if I had known, I wouldn't have did it. So, and this is here like in a red state. So those people are obviously not going to vote for him. They're not going to vote for him. So I think he's going to lose that base. So it might be Biden and Kamala like edge it out. I think.
Keep thinking they've been separating families for a long time.
And do you got
That's
if
all I'm
Trump
saying.
wins, do you think Letitia James is gonna hold up to her promise and get him arrested? David Simon,
Trump?
Yeah.
No, he'll pardon himself before he leaves office.
I like that.
He's not.
I think Trump's going to quit. I think he'll quit.
Like, on December 31st, I pardon Donald J. Trump.
That's it, and it's over.
And he goes, I got a presidential pardon. But when
hey, at this point, there's nothing that would surprise me with the way that it's been going on. It was nothing that will surprise me at this point. Who would imagine?
You want to know who else I think he's going to pardon? That guy, Bannon. I think that's why he got arrested, so that he could be pardoned before Trump gets exited.
All right, so here, let me. I love doing this. I'm gonna throw the devil advocate. Let's say Trump wins.
Let's not say that.
Hold on, because we have to look at this, right? What do you think the reaction would be from a society's perspective, like just the average working Joe? What do you think the reaction would be?
I would say I think people are going to overreact, which they shouldn't. But there's going to be a lot of overreaction, a lot of crying, a lot of people, thinking it's the end, acting like it's the end of the world. But I'll be honest with you, John, I think it's still going to be the same thing that's been going on for.
It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
Absolutely. The distrust.
What's going to get worse about it?
People don't trust each other no more.
I mean, he's going to be emboldened, right? Yeah, with all the shit he's getting away with. He has his $500 million loan debt that's due in this cycle. He's going to be emboldened. I mean, he's already like, I don't give a F about, anything. And that's the thing. All the people that he's replacing in his cabinet, they're coming in as lower grade. They're worse, like the doctors. He's bringing in these other doctors who are unqualified. I mean, everyone that he's brought in who's left the White House, and then he replaces them with someone else of a lower grade, a lower quality. It's getting worse.
Okay.
And the country's tilting to a racist edge now.
Let me say this.
It's tilting to a racist edge, bro.
Let me say this.
Tilting. It just now started tilting. It just started out
like it wasn't racist. It wasn't racist before,
Hey, it ain't. What do you say? I'm least racist. It's the least racist country.
You can vote for Donald Trump once and it'd be understandable because you did not know what kind of politician he would be. But to vote for him twice, I can't trust you. You are a person. If 50 or Ice Cube were to vote for him, I couldn't trust them because they are agents against the community, the culture.
Aren't you tired of hearing like BS from your president every damn day? Don't you want to wake up this
lies? He creates stories. He's a creative talker. He's J.K. Rowling.
You can't
the media is a creative entity, so it goes hand in hand.
I can't believe anything this guy says, man. He says, oh, don't worry, we're turning the
corner. All right. So now let's flip it. Put on your devil's advocate. All right.
Biden wins. What happens?
Right. Biden wins. What happens?
We're gonna say, oh shit, we didn't realize.
Mass shooting starts again. The riots may stop.
Russia starts buzzing our cruise ships and they start buzzing our warships.
Maybe we can make friends, some allies again.
And I worry too, like if he wins, like will the police, you know what I'm saying? Like will they want to,
I want to see where the change is going to be. That's all I want. That's all I'm saying.
Is on Biden's ticket. It's actually going to be a part of the election. You didn't see that on your ballot?
I just see that it's the same issues that are going on now. The same issues I remember seeing when I was 4 or 5 years old watching Tom Brokaw on the fucking news. It's all the same shit over and over again. So I don't think shit changes. The talk changes. That's it.
Yeah, I wish Ill Conscious was here because I was going to ask you guys, and I probably wanted to ask him this. Do you guys believe in the saying where they say the president is selected, not elected?
Yes.
So do you think it's going to be whoever wins is who somebody selected, basically?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who the vote is. It's just going to be who they want to be.
That's very true.
Whoever they are, whoever.
You got the Electoral College and conventions of states. They can overrule the people's vote.
And it's been happening, right?
True, but the thing about it, this is the kicker. Everybody that supposedly vote counts. The popular vote is not the one that chooses the individual. So therefore, we'll never know what sort of secret society is choosing the president or
It's not a coincidence that this kidnapping case in Michigan happened, by the way. You know, that's to tilt Michigan a certain way.
Hey, so that's my thing. I think that's why I say what I say about, like, even as far as the separation of the families and the immigrants and all that. The only thing that changes is the president. Everything else keeps us the same way. The markets will crash. They'll be correct. Like when you're talking about all that, like those are just things that are just, gonna happen.
And then what happens is they probably use the same excuse they use with Obama. Like, well, he was cleaning up Bush's mess.
Right. Every time
they're gonna say that he's just cleaning up Trump's mess. So
all the fucking time. And I think that's when you said what about the debates. I literally changed the channel when Bob went and started going, and like looking at the camera, like put on his best politicians, like this is for the families that are sitting around the table wondering.
And he was real pessimistic when he was like 200,000 people will die. I'm like, dude, like, do you know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
Trump's biggest failure, God bless you, will be the fact that he wasn't able to convince people that he was cleaning up a Barack Obama's mess. You understand? And by him not being able to convince people of that, he's just wasted.
Hey, look, if we're going to talk about money, right? And I'm just talking about my personal experience, right? From Obama up until here, this COVID shit. Money-wise, my shit been fucking popping. Like with different adjustments that were made, like while the different workings that Obama did, and then when Trump came in and tweaked whatever he tweaked, and when I'm looking, if I was just going off of money, off of what my bank account and how my funds look, then there's been a great job that's been done up until COVID. You know what I'm saying? And luckily, I'm a member. I work for the government. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't been touched. But my point is, my money and life changed drastically from Obama to up until COVID.
And you think that has something to do with the leadership in the White House, or is it just?
I just think whatever. The inner workings are so fucking dynamic. You can't put your finger on one thing of what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, from a time, if we're talking about money, from the point took over and up until COVID, shit's been popping. So I don't know.
Congratulations, you're fortunate, but there are.
I'm just saying, and I'm saying I'm blessed. I'm blessed, and I'm not saying that it's all easy and great and all that other shit, because I got my own obligations in life. You know what I'm saying?
But you work for the government, correct?
Yes.
So you work for the people. You don't work for Donald Trump. And the people saying you need a pay cut and vote for Biden.
Hey, I'll be honest with you. There's things that he said about how government work gets done, and he's right. A lot of it is bullshit. He's 100% right on that. He calls out. That's the one thing I'll say. And so that's why I say I'm not static to one. There's not one topic that I'm stuck on. You know what I'm saying? Like when I look at those portions, I would say.
Do you know who you're going to vote for?
Huh?
Do you have an idea of who you're going to vote for?
Yeah, and it's not any of those two.
You voting Kanye West, or you writing in?
Kanye. Not with you. Joe Jorgensen.
I'm always scared. I'm always scared to vote for a third party person.
Jorgensen.
They're not gonna win.
It's a wasted vote.
But that's the fucking problem, right? So we keep voting again with these two, and there's a third option that's given, and everybody goes, huh? To the third party? Other than Kanye West?
The third option is only there to confuse you and to help the incumbent.
The third option, if everybody was like, fuck this bullshit, let's go to the third option. We already tried the two options. Let's try the third option.
There's not enough people for the third option.
That's the problem. Everybody keeps getting caught up in the hamster wheel.
The hamster wheel is more promising. If you put your money in a cart that's not as going to, if the cart doesn't have wheels on it to move, you'll be wasting your money.
But you got to take a leap. You got to change something. The two people and the people that we're seeing. If you look, this fucking guy. Let's look at Biden's fucking the 94 criminal bill. All the bullshit that he's done. Everybody wants to talk about that. The man says point blank to his face, if you ain't black, you ain't black. If you ain't voting for me,
look.
who the fuck has the audacity to talk
I will
like
say
that?
about that part. You know, at least Biden apologized.
What the fuck apologize?
What does Trump apologize for? All the things that he's said and done. Has he apologized for anything?
What's the point?
Well, the point is that there's
what's the point? Just because you apologize, mean it. None of the motherfuckers mean it, obviously, because they keep doing the same shit.
Accountability.
I mean, accountability is good, but let's say that Biden is one of these people that goes with what the times call for. Now, the crime bill was during the crack era, right?
And he said 100 senators voted for that. It was 100 senators at that time, unanimous.
So that's what the
right. That shit just goes so deep. What the country is
calling for now is police reform, criminal reform. Criminal justice reform, Black Lives Matter. Maybe he be more tolerant of those issues as well as he was tolerant for the issues of 94 in the crack era.
So you don't think that, okay, basically you're because get Trump out of office. That's where you're at with it.
No. I'm saying that Biden is influenced by the waves of the time. And the waves of the time right now.
So he's like that one guy that one hip hop artist trying to find that hit.
I don't know about
the
that.
trend, following whatever trend is.
No.
Whatever. He's a politician.
When Barack Obama was elected, what was the first thing he did? He straightened up the Wall Street because that's what the country called for. You understand? I don't think Donald Trump is
right. And then who did he put in his bankers?
Say again?
In this cabinet, who did he put in his cabinet? Bankers?
No, he bailed out the
No, I'm saying Obama when his cabinet were bankers, right?
I can't recall many.
A lot of them.
Chase or any of those individuals.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are bankers, so
I believe
the same people that they're bailing out, the same people in his cabinet. How convenient!
They had
love it.
But bankers have influence on any president, even if they don't need a bailout. They are the capital distributors financially across the board, domestic and foreign. So of course,
I'm looking forward to being an observer in this. That's all I can say. And that's why I was asking the question about what do you think would happen between both. In my opinion, either way, it's going to be a shitty, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I could be wrong, but it's going to be either way it goes. It's going to be a shitty time.
I think once the election's over and Biden happens to win, I think a lot of the countries that has banned Americans from coming to, doors will be opened again. I think a lot of those countries closed the doors to Donald Trump specifically and not the citizens of America. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I probably will vote for Biden, but I just feel like every time I vote Democrat, no, I'm gonna vote. I was just, most likely, like I said, I always lean towards Democrat, but I just feel like every time I vote Democrat, it always feels like being a Knicks fan. You always get disappointed. That's how I feel sometimes.
Dave is speechless right now.
Nothing's going to be 100% the citizen's way, the poor citizen or the wealthy citizen. We're just hoping that the individuals that's paying 21% in taxes right now, the wealthy, that they give a little more because they made a little bit more during this pandemic. And that's the bottom line. Donald Trump will not require them to give up a fair share of their income. So he does nothing for society of America. That's just how I feel. Hey guys, I don't know about you. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll be back next week.
No doubt, man. It's good having you.
Glad to have you
Yeah,
back.
having you
brother.
back, man.
Thank you. And you know what? I'll hopefully I'll get this apparatus up and running early next week, and I'll give an opening statement to explain the absence, and I'll let the audience in on a little bit of the backstage situation.
Okay.
And I thank you all.
All right, man. Well, I'm Tech 7. You know where to find me.
Yeah, Dialect 718, Instagram and Twitter, and on HipHopCitizen on Facebook and Twitch.
Yeah. Don Juan D-Mac on IG and everywhere HipHopCitizen is. #.
David Simonism or David E. Simonism. You put it into Google, you find me. Come shit on me.
All right, thank y'all for tuning in.